Mason, as you know, if October's the scariest month of the year, November is the most magical.
In what sense?
There's a loot crate and it's about magic.
Woo! Magic!
Yeah. So if you sign up to lootcrate.com/weeklyplanet and use the promo code weeklyplanet, that's one word, you get $3 off any Loot Crate box. But November's theme one is magical to tie into Fantastic Beasts. Where are they? Have you seen them? Help me. Where
They're in the case.
They're still in the case?
They're in the case. Just don't open the case,
Okay.
and you'll be fine. Save yourself a lot of trouble. Just lock the case. Get one of those springy clips.
Yep,
It's a
absolutely.
springy one.
Hockey strap.
They're hard to get now because I think they'll
Because they're illegal because they'll take your eye
hit you
out.
in the eye.
Yeah.
But find one. Ask your uncle. Ask your
My
dad's mate.
my dad's got a budge.
Yeah, just wrap it up in the case, and then the case won't open. You'll be fine. All the beasts will be in the case. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, that's good. It's good advice. Also, Doctor Strange.
Maybe in this loot crate there'll be some hockey straps.
You open it.
Be
it just
careful.
hits you in the eye. Doctor Strange. Great.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Or maybe there'll be an Eye of Agamotto.
That's not it. That's not from Big Trouble, Mason. You're getting your
No, that's true.
properties confused.
Also, you don't want to mess with time. You don't want to give everybody the Eye of Agamotto because
no,
it's gonna.
what a shit show, mate.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Everybody reversing time.
And Game of Thrones.
Oh,
So those are all fantastic things, Mason. Where are they? You can find them.
they're in the case.
They are in the
Specifically, they're in the loot crate.
That's right. So it's lootcrate.com/weeklyplanet, promo code weeklyplanet, one word, for $3 off any box. On with the show, Mason.
Abracadabra.
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? That's what they say.
Yeah.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, official podcast of comicbookmovie.com, where we talk movies, comics, TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nick Mason.
Finger guns.
Yeah, man.
Sony finger
Are you
guns.
finger gunning because Leonard Cohen is dead? Is that what you're doing?
No.
I know it's not comic book related, but it sort of should be acknowledged because
No, we've got to find some very tenuous link.
the song Hallelujah covers in Shrek.
Shrek. There we go. I was going to go with Shrek as well.
And Shrek probably has a comic book you find in a cereal box.
Yep. There might be like an Archie
Sure.
Shrek. Probably not though.
Look, he was a pretty good bloke.
Yep.
And he was writing right up to the moment of his death, but he was happy with the music that he produced.
Was he writing a comic book?
Perhaps. His last work
There's no
is
way
yet
of
to be
knowing, is there?
released. Yeah. Do you prefer the Jeff Buckley or the Leonard Cohen version of Hallelujah?
Jeff Buckley.
Yeah, me too. But
Well, look, hopefully Jeff Buckley can die again and then we can talk about him on the podcast. But until then,
yeah,
it's right out.
That's
It's all
it.
about Leonard Cohen. So here's the thing. This is why I didn't want to dip into this because I'm largely ignorant of Leonard Cohen.
Yeah, me too,
I like I like some of his work.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't know nothing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, there was another actor. There was an actor who died this week who had a huge impact in comic book movies. Robert Vaughn died at the age of 83.
Did he? Oh.
Yeah.
He was in Bullets.
He was in Bullets.
He was one of the men from Uncle.
He was whoever Henry Cavill played. He was in The Magnificent Seven.
Yep, that's
He was
right.
in Battle Beyond the Stars, which is a weird 80s Star Wars remake of
Yep.
Magnificent Seven. But he was also the villain with the weather changing machine in Superman 3.
That's right, he was.
It was Superman 3's Lex Luthor, whose name I can't remember. That movie is god awful. But I really like Robert Vaughn, and that bloody sucks that he's dead, mate.
Yeah.
83. So, yeah. Two pretty big hits this week, Mason.
Yeah.
And that's all the bad news I have.
You say that, and then sometimes you sneak in some more bad news. We'll see.
Okay, Tom Holland says that he's got 3 Spider-Man films contracted, but he also said, and 3...
I thought you were going to say he's got 3 Spider-Man films in his backpack.
that he's spruiking at a market.
That's
at
right,
an
yeah.
illegal DVD market. No, he said... He opened up about how many films he's signed on to. 3 Spider-Man films, he says, and these are his words, and 3 solo films.
I think he's confused there.
Yeah, do you think he means 3 solo movies, 3 Spider-Man films and 3 Marvel movies?
I think that's
that
probably
they'll
what
kind
he
of
means.
wedge him in, like an Avengers.
He seems like a lovely young man who occasionally panics.
Yeah, sure.
Because this is something I learned recently in Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
He's having a conversation with Robert Downey Jr. in his bedroom.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark in the film says, "All right, move the leg. I'm going to sit here."
Yeah.
Apparently, that's not in the script. It's just Tom Holland was sitting where Tony Stark was supposed to be sitting. And so he was just like, for blocking purposes, I have to sit there, so move the leg. And he was like, oh, okay. So there's a fun
That's
fact
very
about that
good.
film.
I like
so
that
I
a
think
lot.
that's just him being a young man. How old is he?
I think he's 20... 20, 21 maybe? Yeah.
That's young enough to say
That's
dumb
young.
things.
Yeah, I would say I said a bunch of dumb things then. Yeah, and I still do. It kind of never leaves you in a way, does it?
No, if
Yeah.
anything, it gets worse.
Are you excited to see more Tom Holland though as Spider-Man?
Yes,
Yeah, I
'cause
thought
he
he was
seems
great.
fun.
Yeah, he does seem fun. Affable. And he actually looks like a teenager, even though he's not like a... he's not 16, but he passes for it. Tobey Maguire never passed for 16.
No, he was always 35.
Yeah, that's right. And he still is.
Do you think we're going to get the evolution from mechanical web shooters to organic web shooters?
No, I think it will always be mechanical.
So why do you think he was scratching his wrist? At
No, because he had the little projectory thing
no,
in
but he
there.
was scratching
I thought it was because Tony
because of a
Stark
projection.
No, because Tony Stark installed the thing.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Little scratchy...
that was not in his web
diode.
shooter.
Wasn't it? So the projection came out of his wrist.
No, that's what I'm saying. I assumed that I assumed they were two separate incidents.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assumed that he's in the web shooter. He's got that holographic computer projection thingy.
Yeah, yeah.
But also he's scratching his wrist because he's like, oh, I'm evolving in ways that I didn't think of before.
Nah, I think we're past that. I don't
Okay.
think that's a thing anymore.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but
Well, that's
maybe.
good. 'Cause- Yeah. Maybe he's just itching because they're stuck on his wrists and he
Stuck in
can't get
his
him off.
wrist, mate. Yeah. Exactly. But no, there was also confirmation that Michael Keaton is going to be the Vulture. Like
Right.
we knew that mostly, and
Is that from Tom Holland giving it away?
no, open up his backpack and handing out DVD copies. No, Kevin Feige just said it. He's like, yeah, I'm presuming he was just like, yeah, everybody knows, yeah, he is.
Right, yeah.
great, good. I can't.
Everybody knows, specifically, everybody just said, how about Michael Keaton be the Vulture? And we didn't have any more ideas. And he was walking past the office, if we're honest. He was doing some art film, I don't know. So we just
we was in some kind of bird costume, so
signed him on.
Film
It's
somebody
fine.
else, yeah. That's great. Good on him, mate. I'm excited to see a mentor of Peter Parker who he doesn't realize is actually his greatest foe, and then they both discover each other's identity and
Finally.
then have a fight. Yeah, I hope it's not that. I'm sure it won't be, right?
I think it might be, though.
Why can't he just be fighting a villain who he doesn't know personally?
That would be good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Because everything's got to be wrapped up in a neat little bow.
But I don't think that you need to, because in the comics,
I know
he
you
doesn't
don't
know
need
everybody.
to.
Yeah. But he's also going to fight like the Shocker and and the Tinkerer, I want to say.
Okay.
Like a bunch of other minor villains. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the Shocker.
Me too.
Yeah, that'd be
Do you think
cool.
he'd be all padded?
Yes, we've seen a picture, Mason.
Do you think it'd be more padded than in the picture?
No, I
though?
think that's probably as padded as it will
Do you
get.
think it'd be yellow padded?
No, it's kind of like a dull, kind of custard.
There should be some yellow.
Yeah, there is. There is.
Yeah.
But the same way that Batroc the
Leaper
Leaper
had
like
some purple.
purple. It's
Yeah,
like
okay.
that kind of
All right.
situation.
Look, if with any luck, he can get some battle damage and some of the armor comes off and he's just wearing a big yellow quilt
right, cool.
under his armor.
Suits me, Mason. But you know what suits a lot of people?
Suits.
The TV show or just the clothing?
The outerwear, the business wear suits.
I don't mind a suit because I don't have to wear a suit. I don't mind
Exactly,
putting one on.
same here. I
Yeah.
love wearing a suit, but if I had to wear one for work, I wouldn't like it anymore.
Exactly. I hate putting on a suit when I'm going to a thing that I don't want to go to. I have to be like
So-
wrestled into it like a baby.
So literally, do you often have to wrestle babies?
if you got a kid,
Oh, you mean like a rig? Not like an actual fight.
no, you got to get your kid's got to go to church maybe or something. So you wrestle him into his best pants probably.
Sure.
You've never wrestled a baby into some clothes, Mason?
No,
What kind of father are you?
not one.
Oh, is that okay? Well, that actually makes a lot of sense.
No. What are we talking about? I've lost my train of thought.
Young
completely.
Justice. That's what I was talking
No,
about.
before that.
Suits.
Suits.
That's not what we were talking about. That's what you were talking about.
Oh, that's right. So I love a suit. Okay, we're back on track. I love a suit. Mm-hmm. Pretty good. Something about a baby. What are we talking about before the baby bit?
I said, do you know what suits a lot of people?
Suits.
Yeah, and Young Justice is getting another season coming to Netflix.
Oh, that's right.
Season 3. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen any of this. I've been meaning to watch it because a lot of people told you on Twitter to watch Young Justice.
I've watched some Young Justice.
And?
It's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, then you'll be even more excited
Great.
because they bring. It's odd that this is the one they chose. I guess Netflix apparently does their algorithms and they have reasons for picking particular things.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
all
true.
the stats must have added up for this. Like they had a good enough fan base and they apparently they're going to chuck on the previous 2 seasons as well.
Great.
Which is good because that's how I'll want to watch them. Just kind of
Yeah.
shotgun them.
Is it
all.
going to be the same production company? Is it going to have a
I
wild new
believe
look?
so. No, I believe it's going to adhere to the original style. I
Great.
believe. Yeah, I'm not sure creatively if it's the same team or who's available and whatnot. But by all accounts, everybody's very excited because it was pretty good. From what you saw of it, is this something you'd like to see in live action?
Oh, no.
Why not? Oh, well, I'd like to see Superboy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I would as well, but I think not in TV land. Maybe Young
No,
Justice
I mean
movie.
like as a movie, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But I don't think. Yeah, you know what? Give him the BBS that look.
Yeah.
But I think if you take the characters that we have in Young Justice and you put them directly into a TV universe, they're going to look ridiculous.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I really like. Have you been reading the current Superman, the current iteration?
You know what? I haven't, but I did read the first. I think it's issue 9 or 10. It's the one where Superboy and Robin
Yes,
meet for the
I read
first
that
time.
as well. Yeah, it's very cool.
It's very cool.
I really like how they've finally kind of moved forward with Superman. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
he's got a kid and he's kind of teaching him how to be a hero, and
Yeah.
it's really good.
Because when I was a kid, I was always there were millions of Superman issues. Not millions. It's too many.
Millions.
Millions upon billions of Superman issues where near in the future, Superman leaves Earth and Superman 2, his son, takes over.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was stuck for 25 years.
Yeah, man.
And there was never any evolution. And now we've got one, which is good.
Yeah.
How long do you think until they erase him?
I don't know. It's going pretty well. I don't think
Yeah.
they will. Not
Okay,
for
good.
a while. I mean, they will eventually. I think because New 52 was kind of like, this isn't your granddad's Superman. He's kind of a prick and he doesn't wear his jocks on the outside or whatever. He still doesn't wear his jocks, but they've taken it back to their kind of core values. And I know I really like what they're doing with it because I wasn't impressed with any of the New 52 Superman stuff.
So he wears...
It's not terrible, but
Right.
it's just like
So he wears the costume that doesn't have the underpants on the outside,
Yeah.
but he's the old Superman.
yes.
Did he take the new Superman costume from the corpse of the new Superman?
No, I don't think he took it off him, but I'm sure it's got.
But he was
something-
like, this corpse inspires me to update my costume a little bit. It's sad and all, but
yeah,
love wearing a suit.
so
Because I
sleek.
don't have to wear a suit. I could just wear that weird jeans and t-shirt combo.
Absolutely.
That looked bad.
Actually, I didn't mind that that run of Superman where he's depowered and he's in the streets and he's got the cape on his fists and he's like,
Yeah.
he can hit people.
I didn't hate it.
That was okay.
But I did
but
not.
I didn't finish it.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I also didn't like the fact that it was running at the same time as like the Justice League,
Yes.
where he's the full Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, why? Just finish this plot line.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Or do modern day Superman, and then cut back to him being like, I can't. Remember back in the day when I just didn't have the powers and I just ran around in jeans and t-shirt. Wasn't that fun?
It was a fun time.
I was the bloody Bruce Springsteen of being
Better hero, mate.
Better hero, mate.
Yeah, good stuff. The Valerian city. It's got a lot of cities. How many
Yep.
cities are in that city?
Valerian, that bloody it's a route, and you
It is true. It is too. Yeah.
aiding you going to sleep.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Just gnaw on that, mate.
Speaking of things that'll make you bloody go to sleep, this movie, no, it actually looks really good.
Yeah, you watched it just now.
Just now,
and you
looked
seemed very
great.
impressed by it.
Yeah,
So this is a Luc Besson film.
we know that because it said in the trailer from the visionary director that brought you The Fifth Element, and we're like, whoa, and then it's like, and Lucy. Oh, that film that literally no one watched. I saw it at a drive-in.
Yeah.
Kind of boring.
Well, you also hated it, I believe, because she could unlock all of her brain.
Yeah.
And it was Morgan Freeman talking about what would happen as her brain unlocked. And
That's right, yeah.
And then she-
as we all know, humans only use 10% of their brains. Not true, Morgan Freeman. And you're supposed to be a scientist or something.
Apparently. Yeah.
good.
And doesn't she turn into data at the end or something? I
She
haven't
turns
seen
into
it.
a USB stick, essentially. She turns into like a big black mound of goop, and then like a little sort of claw comes out and it's got a USB stick on it. And it's like, here's all the information of the universe in it, in the USB
What?
stick.
Is that true?
Yes.
So she doesn't like walk away at the end. She
No.
just turns into a pile of nanobots or something.
Correct.
Well, that sounds shitter than I thought it was.
I should give it another go.
Nah.
I'm not going to, but
Watch
I should.
Fifth Element again if you're going to watch something.
Yeah.
I loved Fifth Element.
Gary Oldman's got that weird hair.
Yeah, man.
He's got that gun that can shoot around corners.
Chris Rock is it? Not Chris Rock. Chris Tucker's
Tucker.
in it, and people hate him. But I think that's the point. He's supposed to be like
Yeah.
incredibly irritating.
Yeah.
I think he's great in that movie. And that's like one of the 3 movies he did in the 90s, and then he didn't do anything for like 10 years. Except for Rush Hour movies every now and then to collect $20 million. But, so it obviously looks more Fifth Element than the other movies that he's done.
Yeah, but it kind of looks like Fifth Element times 100.
Yeah, big time. Now, that's the thing though. Is it going to go like your Jupiter Ascending or
It
your
looked at-
Guardians of the Galaxy? You know what I mean? Which
Well,
way is
my
it gonna
initial
go?
thought was, as soon as I saw the opening just image, and there was a lot to it, I'm like, I haven't seen Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah.
But it looks a little like that.
Yeah, sure. I also haven't seen it. Looks expensive, right?
Yeah.
So did the CGI aliens hold up for you, or were you like, these are CGI aliens?
They did, but I'm also, if this goes the way I think it's going to go, it seems like a fun thrill ride kind of situation,
Sure.
and I'm willing to forgive some okay CGI if it's.
Yeah. Because you remember there was all puppet men in the in Fifth Element. I was going
That's
to say
right,
the
yeah.
first one. They're not related. But yeah,
Maybe
so
they are though.
maybe they are.
Maybe we'll see a little flying taxi cab in the background of something.
I'm just looking at the budget of this.
Yes.
I really want. I bet it's about 130. 180 million. That's a big risk. Now you also said that the premise of the comic is weird.
Well,
Because I don't know it.
Well, I don't know it either, but it just says. Hang
And
on.
it is French as well.
Yeah, see, well, that explains a lot, doesn't it? Okay, Valerian, Dane DeHaan, and Laureline Cara Delevingne are special operatives for the government, blah, blah, blah. Valerian has more in mind than a professional relationship with his partner, blatantly chasing after her with propositions of romance. Blah, blah, blah.
So he's Pepe Le Pew.
It's Pepe Le Pew, exactly. Drive Laureline to continuously rebuff him.
Nice.
It's a bit weird. You know
Yeah.
what? Just let it go, mate.
Move on.
It's workplace harassment. Just leave it, all right? No,
Okay.
just chip away at him.
Yeah, just chip away, wear him down, mate. I know people like that.
Ugh.
You know?
Are they in prison?
No, they're married to that person.
Oh, then it works.
Yeah, it does. Keep at it. That's my
no,
motto.
don't, though.
No, don't. You know him as well.
Say who it is. We'll take it out later. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Was that a chip away
Yeah,
situation?
it was, yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. All right. What do we got here? Anyway, it looks great.
It does
I
look
mean,
great.
it might be nothing, but
I'm willing to
I
give
love
it
an
a whirl.
idea like, yeah, exactly. Like that. I love a big swing, even if it's a miss.
Yeah, and it looked.
It's not my money, but I like it.
That's exactly right. It looked kind of like Saga in terms of like
Okay,
just the
yeah.
sheer scale
Yeah,
and
no, absolutely.
so many alien worlds and all. Initially, I'm like, is this set in a? Is it set in like a virtual world?
Okay,
Because at one
right.
point Dane DeHaan's got like the Hawaiian shirt on. And,
Yeah, and they're on a beach.
but
and-
clearly it's a space opera kind of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks fun though.
It does. Do you remember the space opera from The Fifth Element? And then that woman had stones in her or something?
Yes, I do remember
Four
that. Yeah.
big blocks.
Yeah, good.
Remember when Bruce Willis killed all those people?
Yeah.
Well, they weren't people. They were weird frogmen or something.
Yeah, I do.
Remember all the elements? And one of them was fire.
Yep.
And he lit it. Remember his cigarettes had the really long filter, but the really short.
Look, I remember many things about it. All right. Look,
I'm just going to name things I remember.
look all the things. Look,
Multipass.
Multipass. Most of the things I remember about that film are Gary Oldman's weird hair and his weird accent, and the gun did a whole bunch of different cool stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that'll do it. Mason,
Yes.
the X-Men universe is going strong.
The movie one?
Yeah.
They're rebooting it again, right?
Well, that's the rumor. Okay, so there's a few things to kind of unpack here.
Number one is, who cares? Number two, who would notice?
Yeah, that's right. Or every one of them is kind of a reboot.
Everyone's kind of a reboot. The current one only ever pays homage to the previous one.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
If you go back more than one, none of them make any sense.
Yep.
So they're all kind of a reboot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When are they set?
What do
Why
you got
are they
there?
set? Okay, so apparently the idea is after kind of Logan,
Yep.
it's kind of reboot everything, kind of give things a reshuffle because obviously Hugh Jackman's stepping away.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of contracts are up for the younger cast and whatnot. Apparently Simon Kinberg is sorting it all out, which is good. I like him. But and Bryan Singer is out.
Okay.
So he's done his 4? Yeah, he's done 4. He did 1 and 2 and Days of Future Past and Apocalypse, I believe. Good.
Probably
He's-
time
he,
to
but
go.
he gave it a red hot go.
The first two were great. And
For the
then,
time.
For the time, and then the time... That's interesting. Like,
Mm.
I'm sure... Like, I still... Every time I've seen those two, I've liked them a lot. The first two.
Yeah, man. No, I do like him. Yeah.
But it's been a lot of years, and I'm wondering, would I still like them, or would they feel like their time? When was the last time you saw them?
Oh, couldn't tell you, mate.
Mm.
Couldn't tell you.
Because
It's Tuesday. No, I don't know. Go on.
Well, because the last two definitely felt like, oh, these are of a specific time. And I'm wondering if...
Do you mean the last two we just had?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
And
yeah.
like I felt like, oh, the time for these has kind of passed. There's a
Right,
feel
yeah.
to them, and I don't know if it's just I'm bored with this X-Men movie format that Singer's created, or
Yes.
that's it.
No, that's what I think. Or, sorry, what were you going to say for or?
I don't know if I had an or. I was just reaching.
Or if the X-Men don't work.
No, or maybe that superhero movie conventions have changed
Right,
because
yeah.
of, Marvel Studios proper, and now we structure movies like this, and maybe
Sure.
these seem more primitive.
Yep.
In a
Okay.
way, I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, I can understand that. But also, a lot of them took on the kind of worst ideas from modern comic book movies, especially Apocalypse, where the end's just a big ball of jagged metal and everyone's just shooting lasers into each
Yeah.
other on a green screen stage. And
Exactly,
there's a
that-
big blue light or whatever.
That also feels like something that we were done with several years ago.
Yes.
Like we went...
That being said, we've had that at least twice a year for several years.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. But that's one thing, because I kind of see...
CGI metal's out.
Yep.
Weird quantum realms are in.
Big time, baby.
Just film it regular and put one of those turny light boxes in front of the camera.
Yes.
Capture whatever comes up.
That's all you
Kaleidoscope.
need. Kaleidoscope.
That's what I'm thinking
mate.
of.
Yeah, no,
Turny light box.
Turny light box. But I think Apocalypse and Days of Future Past are about as good as each other, except for the end of Days of Future Past is at least kind of Wolverine doesn't save the day. Not that he does in the other one either, but it's more kind of like there's a message and a point, and it's set on the world stage, and Mystique saves the president and whatever, and it's kind of like mutants are accepted or whatever, and then the next one's just kind of like Magneto kills maybe 200 million people and then walks away.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that though. That's
Okay.
all because we're talking comic book movies of this year today, but we'll get to that.
Hold that thought.
Yeah. So
If James says a different number than 200 million, you get at him on Twitter. You tell him he said the wrong number.
so they're also confident that McAvoy and Fassbender will return for this reboot, and Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence will not
I
return.
doubt it. You know what? That's the thing. I really like McAvoy and Fassbender. I think they're really great in those roles, even if the movies haven't been, amazing.
Yep.
But if you're going to reboot it, maybe just get rid of them all.
No, I reckon look, and again, I like Jennifer Lawrence in basically everything she's in, except for Apocalypse, where she was phoning that in.
Yeah,
she did not want
sure.
to be there, and it's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the show, I think.
I thought she was fine, and same with the previous one, she was fine. I didn't like how... You know what? We'll get to it.
Okay, cool.
Doesn't
Great. I recently saw a trailer. It's for a film called War on Everything.
Right.
And it's about two corrupt cops sort of in the 70s.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Fassbender and McAvoy in a film like that.
Yeah, man.
Just tooling around in a big Chevy.
yes.
Just being cool dudes. That'd be fun, right?
That'd be real cool. Mm-hmm. So the other part of it was... So if they get those... So this is all rumors again, that the next movie will be like the Dark Phoenix saga, which is kind of hinted at.
Yep.
Which again, is like, is it a reboot or... I don't know. And also Deadpool will apparently just crack on as per usual. Because that's the thing with Deadpool, you can set it anywhere,
Doesn't
anytime
matter,
with
yeah.
anybody, and he's supposed to be able to jump through dimensions and time, and so... Yes,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. He could just find a box,
Yeah.
sends him into another dimension. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Makes no difference.
And also, part 3 of Deadpool, after we get Cable and Domino in part 2, will be X-Force.
Great.
So that's what they're building towards, which I think is a great kind of projection for that, instead of just getting 3 kind of...
Did you just make up a term?
Projection, like trajectory. Trajection. There's not a word?
No.
Let me check, Mason.
It's like when you're on a trajectory, but you have an erection. Trajection.
I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, trajection. To transmit or transpose, transport.
I don't like any
The
of these
arc
things.
of trajecting.
You just, no. I don't like
200
this.
million people, Mason, killed.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all good, probably. I'm not really sure what to make of that. I don't know how much of it is real.
Do you think, is Deadpool going to be an X-Force?
Yeah, I think that's the idea. Deadpool 3 is
Yeah.
the X-Force movie.
Okay, great.
You idiot.
No, but I get it, but is he...
Oh, he's going to be on the team. Is that
Yeah.
what you mean? I
Uh-huh.
presume so. He is sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Is it going to be, so it's going to be a funny one?
Yeah, I guess
One
so.
assumes.
Yeah, well,
Huh.
it'll have to be one.
That'd be a funny, yeah, okay.
Is X-Force generally is it a funny team?
No.
No, not overly, is it?
Never.
Everyone's in a grey suit.
So yeah, sometimes it's just like X-Men Black Ops where they go kill a mutant child or something. Like, they're like, we're gonna kill this kid. Who wants to kill the kid? Cyclops, no. Jean Grey, you don't want to kill the kid? All right, Wolverine.
Yeah, are you evil?
Wolverine,
At the mo-
Cable,
are you-
Deadpool.
Yeah, what's your moral code, at this point in time?
All right, put on your kill the kid black suits, and we'll all go kill the mutant kid, and then we'll come back to X-Men and don't say anything.
Don't tell
Don't say.
Professor X.
Don't tell Professor X.
Even though he's killed or mentally blocked a lot of kids
Mm-hmm.
over it is time. Anyway, great. Do something with it. maybe put them in colourful costumes as well, and maybe pick a time period and just stick to it.
Yeah.
Just now is fine. Just the modern day.
Do you want Negasonic Teenage Warhead back? Do you
Yeah,
want
she's
Colossus
great.
back
Yes.
for X-Force? Put him in X-Force.
No, I just want to see him back. No,
Okay.
they can't. You can't really put them in. Oh, yeah, maybe. Depend because if it's a comical X-Force, then yes.
Great.
Sure, why not? The other thing is maybe we should just rest the X-Men for 5 years. Like keep your Deadpools and whatever, but then you can do your X-Force, but maybe just ease up.
Put
yeah?
him on the shelf
Put
for a
him on the
little
shelf
bit.
for a
Let
bit.
him cool off.
That's okay. Yeah, and there's also been the rumors that they're going to integrate him into the MCU and whatever, and maybe or maybe not. No.
I feel that's internet trajectory more than anything.
Doesn't apply, Mason. You clearly don't know anything about that word.
Oh no, you've got me. I don't. You explained it, but I didn't understand.
It's
either word.
trajection.
All right.
What did I say? Trajecture.
I don't know.
Oh, who cares?
Who
Mason,
cares about words?
Speaking
Words are for idiots.
Speaking of who cares, did
Yes.
you watch the new Underworld Blood Wars trailer?
No.
Me neither. Did you watch the new Rogue One International trailer?
Yes.
Now, I should say, I'll put I'll mark it underneath. This trailer spoils some stuff from the movie. If you haven't watched it, probably don't.
I feel it didn't spoil that much.
Really, I can tell you the things that it spoiled.
Okay. Well, here's the spoiler bit.
Yeah. Kyber crystals. You see one.
She's got a crystal. Yeah.
Also, we see the Death Star fire on that planet and that city specifically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of a big deal.
Maybe it'll do a barrel roll. The planet will do a barrel roll. There'll be a solar flare.
Oh, okay,
It'll be
right.
fine. You don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe it won't work.
No, that's the thing. It's not. You see it fire into it. It won't be full power.
Yep.
So it won't obliterate the planet, but it will take out like a big chunk of it, including that city.
Probably.
Yeah. So
All right. Spoiler alert.
probably don't want to know that. That being
Yeah.
said, it still looks good. Still
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
We get a touch more Darth Vader.
Yes.
Like just a teeny little bit more.
That's right. I reluctantly did a trailer breakdown, Mason.
Mm-hmm.
You should check it out. It's some of my finest work.
When you say finest, you mean reluctant and you were very tired,
Yes.
presumably, when you made it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. A lot of people really enjoyed it. Maybe you
Great.
can check it out, Mason. I put out a poll on Twitter to be like, do you want me to do this? And if I do it, I'll half-ass it. And the results came in 50-50, like exactly. So I ended up doing it. But
Great.
boy, did I half-ass it.
Yeah. What else do we see in that trailer that's interesting?
Not much. It's just kind of like an expansion of what we previously got, except for this.
Power.
I still don't know what accent he's doing.
No, neither do I, right? He hasn't said enough things that
Is
we
he
know.
from Space Australia? I don't know.
It's Australia.
But there is a book out this week. It's called Rogue One Catalyst, which is apparently a fantastic addition to this movie. It's a prequel book, and I know you love prequels, Mason.
And
Where
books.
where it talks about the origin of Geonoso's father in relation to Mendo's character.
Okay.
And all that kind of stuff. And Christian
He
Hart,
built Mendo because Mendo's a human
he's
replica
not a
droid.
robot. You're an idiot.
Nope. I'm calling it.
But Christian Harloff from the Schmoes Knows and Collider Jedi Council, he's read it. He got an advanced copy and he said it's amazing.
Okay, then.
So you don't have to read it, but I would recommend if you like books and you like the Star Wars, Mason, get into it, mate.
That's a spicy Star Wars.
You know it.
Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
Here's my question about this international trailer. Do we know what time... Does the layman at this point know what time period this movie is set in?
No,
Still
absolutely not.
Jyn Erso does say, or bloody Mon Mothma does say, it's called the Death Star.
Yeah.
So maybe at this point?
Do you reckon there's people sitting there going, yeah, but
we
you already know that, mate.
Yeah, I guess maybe if you think it's set in another part of the
Sure.
Star Wars, like in a different
Yeah.
solar system or something, maybe...
Do you think if you go in, they've made it so you'll catch up pretty quickly?
I hope so.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's some people who will sit there that whole thing and
Actually,
be like,
I don't hope so. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I know.
yeah, exactly. That's right.
It's not... other people's movie-going experience is not my concern. I don't care. Just if you can... You know what they should do? They should have a title card and it says, if you don't understand what's going on here, shut up. Because people who do understand don't want to hear about it. Because that's all I want. I want to go in there, and I don't want people going, isn't there always... I'll be like, shut up. Don't we already know this Death Star? Is Rey going to fight the Death Star? Shut up. Shut up, please. Shut up.
They won't shut up though.
they won't. They'll keep
generally how
talking,
that
yeah.
goes. I want this to do well though because I don't want to get Yoda and Han Solo prequels forever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want the spin-off movies to be kind of interesting, and this looks interesting to me. Even if it fails, like as a movie, I
Yep.
still want it to do well so that they take risks on kind of ideas like this. Even though it's a Death Star and whatever, it's a lot of stuff that we've seen, but it's a different kind of approach.
Yeah.
So just shut up.
Yeah. See, thank you. Well, you know what this trailer also seemed to tease? We see a shot of Vader, and we see, and he's sort of turning, and then we see Jin approaching. And I think they're trying to
Yeah, they're trying to make it.
make it look
Yeah.
like they're going to have a showdown, but they're not.
Well, if they did, he'd kill her.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll cross paths, but
Yeah,
if he was going for her specifically, that no.
I mean, he could have killed her from there.
Yeah,
Even
that's
that
true.
distance, probably just kill her.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? One mistake they made of this movie. They made both the protagonist for this movie and Force Awakens brunettes. You should have made one of them blonde. That would have confused people less.
Or a fiery red.
Or a fiery redhead, mate. Don't you think that would have do you think that would confuse
Or a
people
spicy
less?
Latina.
Do you think that would have confused people less though?
No, are people like
Because I know people think it's the same character.
Do they?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. They're both British and they're both brunettes.
Is that the same character from... Shut up. Please shut up. I'm trying to enjoy this. I understand the context. You don't understand. Just shut up.
You should have read Rogue One Catalyst, the prequel novel.
Christian Harloff recommended it. Did you not? Alright.
Anyway,
Also, we get the weapons guy.
yes.
No, it's not the weapons guy. It's the blind
Yeah.
guy. He's got a Wookiee bowcaster.
Yes,
Give
he
him that
does.
a whirl.
Yeah.
Where do you reckon he got that?
I don't know. Good call. Oh, it's bigger than a Wookiee bowcaster.
Is
Maybe,
it?
maybe it's in his stick. It folds out of his stick.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think he just grabs it. Yeah.
it's bigger than a Wookiee bowcaster, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the Wookiee bowcaster is about yay big, a couple of feet
But
across.
Wookiees are real big.
They're
It's
not-
a scaling
yeah,
issue.
but
Maybe
they're
he's real
tall,
small.
But
Spoiler alert, maybe he's real tiny.
we've seen him standing next to stormtroopers.
Maybe they're tiny as well.
No, because
maybe
you-
Darth Vader's built a series of they're like, well, we can't defeat him with regular stormtroopers because
he's just running between their legs.
they can't grab him. So we've engineered very tiny clone troopers to fight him.
Fine. Bloody Mendo's a robot and there's tiny
Two
stormtroopers.
predictions. One of them has to be right.
We should also mention, a lot of people have said, are you going to do Star Wars prequel commentaries? Absolutely. We're going to try and get those out before the movie. Maybe we'll do one this week.
Okay.
And we'll maybe do one a week or one every 2 weeks. But we've got some other Star Wars stuff that we've mentioned in the works.
That's right,
Caravan
yeah.
of Garbage is all recorded. Mm-hmm. It's currently it's in the works, mate.
How are you feeling about that? Anxious?
Very anxious, mate. Because we did some video game stuff earlier this week, and it went slightly better than last time, but Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how those Let's Play guys on YouTube, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just throwing a lot of controllers.
I'd imagine.
Maybe they just have a box of new controllers next to them, and they hurl one in frustration, and they just get the next one out of the box, and they're like, okay.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get onto the topic of this week, Mason, Ghost in the Shell featurette. We just watched it.
Yep. This was with the creator of the Ghost in the Shell anime.
Who loves it, mate?
He makes
Bloody
a
loves
little set visit to Ghost in the
does.
Shell, the American live action version. He's
Yeah.
like, exceeded my expectations.
No,
or
absolutely.
something.
Yeah, he said something like that. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's happy. It does look cool. I wonder whether Will Jupiter sending everything. You said the
Well, there's a very brief clip. There's a scene in the original anime where Kusanagi's chasing a dude through like a weird canal slum
Yeah.
kind of city, and there's water and there's a lot of beige happening.
Sure.
And there's some sort of tenement buildings or whatever, and she's fighting him in the water. And the first instant of that looks incredible. It looks exactly like the anime. Like she kicks the dude and he flips in the air and what have you, and he lands in the water. But then, and she's got the cloaking device on.
Yeah.
But then her like decloaking is the worst decloaking effect I've ever seen.
That's a very big call, Mason. I'm sure they did them in Sliders. I remember that show about the Invisible Man, how he had to get the
Better, no, it was worse than that.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember he had the nanite thing in his neck
his
or
neck,
whatever.
Yeah, and he had to get filled up every show.
Quicksilver.
Yeah.
He had a neck full of quicksilver.
They had to fill him up like a car. Just put the
That
bloody
show was
petrol.
kind of funny, I think.
Sure. Yeah. It's probably not good though.
Probably not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As all things end up
Yeah.
all things end up being not good. Anyway, Ghost
He had
in
a
the Shell.
chubby sidekick.
Did he?
I think so.
I don't remember.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Wasn't he a crim as well? But they're like, but the
Yeah.
crim's got the nanites, and now we're going to use him to
That's right, yeah.
get into the government or wear the government or whatever that show was.
Yep.
What was it called? It was just called The Invisible Man. Or
I think so,
something?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Mason, we've got a topic for this week. We probably should have done The Arrival, but
Just Arrival.
sorry.
The Arrival's a different film, I think.
We should, yeah, it's the Charlie Sheen one from the 90s. But we thought we'd talk best and worst comic book movies of 2016, Mason.
Yeah.
There's been a handful of hits and misses.
Please list them throughout the episode because I can't remember any of them.
Sure.
I'll be honest with you. Doctor Strange came out. What was before that? I don't know.
Well, we can go through chronologically what came out.
Great.
And at the end, after talking about each one briefly, if we remember them, then
Definitive ranking.
definitive rankings. And we have to decide or different ranking?
No, we have to fight until we come up with.
God, all right.
Now, when we say fight, the question is, it's whoever ranks them first, and the other person will immediately fold.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's how we do these. Also, when we did the Black Mirror episode, I promised some people on Twitter that we would do a definitive ranking of the episodes.
Yep.
I forgot to do that. So here's the definitive ranking.
Yep.
One is the national anthem, the first one of season 1.
Yep.
Episode number 2, the Christmas episode.
Yep.
Number 3, Hated in the Nation, which is the final episode of season 3.
Yep.
Everything else, then the one where they're on bikes. That's the definitive ranking. All the rest are in the middle somewhere. Then it's the one on bikes is the worst one.
Fair enough. That's a very definitive ranking.
Thank you.
And I'd fight you on it, but you said it first.
That's right. So
Alright.
why would you bother?
Okay, well, the first comic book movie of the year kicked things off in a pretty positive way, Mason. Deadpool in February. Everybody, including us, thought it would be shit.
Did we?
Yeah, because Fox were doing it and they'd already fucked it up.
Oh, yeah. All signs pointed to very bad.
Yeah,
You're right.
but then the marketing started to roll out and it
Yep.
looked pretty funny and...
It was very much the marketing was very much a grab bag. Some of it was real dumb. Some of it we were like, oh, that's kind of clever.
Yeah.
I think it was just this shotgun approach of throw everything at the wall, and hopefully the people who like certain kinds of brands of humor will find the
gravitate.
ones. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was going for that sweet hangover crowd, mate. And they got him.
That's right,
They bloody
yeah.
got him. But I think what definitely helped with the marketing was that people passed that around.
Yeah.
Because often when you put out viral marketing for a movie, people were just like, what, how it's so?
Yeah, right,
What do you want me to
exactly.
do with this?
Yeah.
Nothing. On a budget of $58 million, Mason.
Chump change.
Chumps change. Some chumps change. It made $760 million worldwide.
It's a lot.
That's too much. It is now the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, and probably one of the most.
More than Porky's?
Believe
I don't
it
know
or
if
not.
Porky's is R-rated.
I have no idea. I don't think I've seen it. No, I have. I've seen one of them.
More than what's another like
80s comedy.
80s sex comedy. More than Police Academy 1 before it went all PG. More than Soul Man, where that guy was white and then he blackfaced himself to get into college.
Was that R-rated?
I doubt it. Just trying to think of terrible movies from the 80s.
That is a terrible movie. Yes, more than all those movies. Yes,
Huh.
probably even combined.
Wow.
Now, have you seen it since February?
No.
Me neither. Is it one of those things that you inclined to go back to?
When it comes on Netflix.
Sure.
Before that, probably not.
Probably not. Fair enough. If it goes to Netflix, Mason, you never know. It could go to Stan. Could go to... The dog's sneezing away, mate. It is the season, isn't it? It's spring here. Mm-hmm. The flowers are blossoming. Dogs are sneezing.
The magic season.
The magic season. So, yeah. So, it's one of those things that you won't even download. You'll just kind of like, if this is on, I'll watch it.
I had a real good time with it.
Yeah.
I think I'll wait for it to be on Netflix or Stan.
Sure.
And then skip to some fun scenes.
Right.
And then skip to the end.
Yeah, fair enough. What I thought was interesting about this movie was the way it was cut, because it is a very traditional origin story.
That's true.
And you can actually recut it, because they did try a version of it where it was just a through
Origin
line.
and then action scene at the end, yeah.
But basically it's all set around a bridge for
That's
like
true.
3/4 of the movie.
It will be interesting finding a way to skip to those particular scenes.
Yeah.
Because those scenes are fun.
Yeah.
Any scene with Deadpool and Colossus
Very fun,
and
yeah.
Negasonic are fun.
Yeah.
I find the origin dragged a bit for me.
Yeah, no, I'd
because it
agree with
is
that.
kind of, you're right, it is a stock origin.
Yeah.
And, it's fun, the scenes with,
Deadpool?
no,
Ryan Reynolds?
no,
TJ Miller?
no, think more of a lady. She's from Firefly.
Monica Baccarin? Marina Baccarin?
Marina Baccarin, yeah.
Baccarin?
Those scenes are fun,
Yep.
but it's also a lot of very. You know what? The origin is very much Bryan Singer X-Men.
Yes.
Because it's kind of sad and kind of slow and just kind of. I'm not keen on rewatching it.
Right, fair enough.
I'm sad and I'm in a glass case.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
I'm
perfect movie.
exploding. I don't want to see him fight. I don't really want to see him fight that British guy
No,
in the exploding
who
lab.
cares?
Who cares?
That's the best that British guy's ever been. I thought he was a good villain. Ajax.
Okay.
That's his name. New Transporter.
New Transporter,
New
yeah.
Transporter. That's his name. Yeah, but I enjoyed the last sequence.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually set on a helicarrier, but they
Yeah.
couldn't say helicarrier. You see Hydra Bob, but they can't call him Hydra
Hydra
Bob. They
Bob,
just call
right.
him Bob and whatever. The action's great. I like the way they got around the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Blur Studios, Tim Miller, who directed it, he's the head of Blur Studios, who do a lot of, they do all the CGI trailers for like the Arkham games, and they're great. So he obviously has got a good eye for action and special effects and flipping about.
And so now that he's not going to do the sequel,
Yeah, that's worries
we're going to
me.
remove that eye for special
Are we
effects.
going to just get like standard X-Men running at each other and
Yeah.
kind of stuff?
Also, and did everybody? I guess my question would be: did everybody in that sort of industry cut him like a sweet deal on special effects? And,
I think he did it on the cheap.
Yeah.
Maybe for some payment kind of on the back
but the
end.
new one has a budget of
I think it's going to be about the same. Maybe
Oh,
maybe
okay.
a little bit more. He wanted, well, the story goes that he wanted like 140, but Ryan Reynolds wanted to do it for about the same.
okay.
Yeah,
See, now that you mentioned this Tim Miller thing about the effects,
yeah.
maybe this one's going to Superman for it. It's going to look real.
Just straight away.
Yeah, it's real cheap.
No, I don't think so. I think if anything, we're probably going to get more of the same, and that's what I don't want in a Deadpool movie.
Same.
Because I don't. We've talked about this. We're not huge fans of the character. He's kind of good when he's in and out, and then he's gone. He's kind of irritating a lot of the time.
Yep.
But he's fun. But he's fun also, and I just don't know. Look, I've said this multiple times. I'm not a huge fan of like the crass kind of humor and the kind of like
Your
my
Police
balls.
Academy one.
Yeah, I just don't think that. I understand people find it funny. For me, a guy being like, "Lick my balls, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
A real Porky
A
situation.
real Porky situation. Like, it's not really my thing. So, and I think
Revenge of the Nerds. Was that R-rated?
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to think
probably
of.
one of them. I don't think there even was an R rating then, though.
Right. Okay.
It was all whatever they said back then. One below X, or whatever it was. in the 80s.
NC-17.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like the quips and the humor, but I don't think the comics doesn't necessarily go all that way, and I don't think the movie benefits from it necessarily.
Yeah.
yeah. Not that I'm some prude, Mason. That's
Yeah.
not what I'm
You've
about.
seen Police Academy 1
I
and
don't think I have.
Porky's.
Maybe.
Why can't I think of any more R-rated comedies from the 80s?
There were so many.
Yeah.
What's the one?
Vacation.
Vacation. Animal House. That might have been the 70s.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they're all shit. Like, you think they're good, but you go back, they're not good.
Yeah.
Because they've been done a million times since, way worse.
Yep.
It's all watered down.
Going back to Deadpool, I guess one of the things he can do in the comic books that he can't do in the movies is just sort of switch identities a lot. Like,
Yeah.
he can be, he can suddenly be Deadpool Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
Or he can have the Venom symbiote in a flashback
Yeah.
for multiple issues.
Has he
or
ever
he
had Thor's hammer? He probably has.
He's probably had it through some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
If he hasn't, Marvel, put it on your list.
Put on your bloody list, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. And he's always better when he's bouncing off of another superhero, and that superhero is just being very much what that superhero is, so he can kind of make fun of them.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Like, I enjoy
And if he
that
can't
aspect.
attach, if he can't attach to the Avengers or Spider-Man or what have you, then
Yeah.
so a lot of that is lost. Also, he can attach him, but he attach himself to Colossus, who's taking himself very seriously.
and that was
so that's
great.
fun.
Yeah.
But how many more X-Men can he do that with?
Cable,
All right,
and then the X-Force in the third
and
one.
they're exactly. But again, if they're going to reboot the X-Men universe,
Yeah,
they all have different character traits.
Yeah.
How can he? Like, it'd be fun if he teamed up with Wolverine, because Wolverine's been in all the movies. He's got the very defined character. He's got
Yes.
the delightful Hubert Jackman.
yeah.
He comes in and he does Wolverine to the extreme, and then Deadpool makes fun of him. That's fun.
But also, Deadpool.
What's he going to team up with Cyclops? Who cares?
I like Cyclops, but yeah, you're right. That's not as interesting a dynamic. But also, the Hugh Jackman Wolverine's also kind of quippy and's like, "Well, they call you Wheels, guy in a wheelchair. What are you, some kind of dickhead?"
That's right, yeah.
Nice wheelchair, you fucking dickhead.
What do they call you? Red glasses? What do you bloody wear some red glasses? Ha ha. What do they call you? Little Miss Telekinesis? What do you got there? Got some telekinesis?
Get in my
Gonna-
mind.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Anyway, it's pretty good.
What do they call you, Nightcrawler? Because you got blue skin and you teleport and you got a prehensile tail. They call you that? Haha, nice one, idiots. He is very, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. I give it a thumbs up. That's what I give it.
Yeah, me too. Thumbs up. Okay, so far it's number 1 on the list.
Absolutely. Here we go. Something.
You know what I loved about it? Also,
What?
that it wasn't just. I enjoyed the various pretenses for him never having any guns.
Yes.
Or
yeah.
running. I've got 10 bullets. That's all I have. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limitations often breed creativity, Mason.
Yeah.
That's why this show is so great. Moving on.
We barely have any bullets. We've got 1 bullet, and it's just been a.
We're saving it for episode 200.
That's right. Yeah. We're basically every episode is a standoff. We both look at the bullet and we're like, "Is this the day we both run for the bullets? Who gets to it?"
So the next one, Batman v Superman, is kind of like the opposite of the kind of the way that Deadpool was put together. A lot of money, a lot of studio support,
Uh-huh.
and it did not as well. It was on a
It
budget.
did not as well.
Yes. Well, if like it made more money, but it also cost $250 million.
Yep.
Plus probably double for marketing.
Marketing,
blah, blah.
yep.
Which is obviously that rule also applies to Deadpool. But so it was $250 million, and it made 872 or something like that worldwide. I'm going to double check that number. I'm not sure if
That seems low.
Yeah, but I know it definitely didn't make $1 billion.
Yeah, so it cost
Yeah.
$500 million.
Yeah.
About, and it made 800 million.
Yeah, and look, it made money. Like it did make money, but it should have made what Civil War made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just find out.
Okay.
I'm gonna double
Now,
check that.
I have said in the past,
872, yeah,
there are going to be. I'm going to say 2 movies on this list that we've said we're going to maybe put a moratorium on
Yeah.
making fun of them.
Yes.
We're going to do it this one more time,
No, that's how much it made.
Huh.
That's how much it made.
and then after that, we're going to leave them.
Yeah.
Again, on this list, we're going to like some of these movies, maybe not so much some others.
Yeah.
If you loved them, that's fine. You are wrong, and it's great. It's fine. It's great. If you loved them, it's great, but it's fine and you're wrong.
Yeah. But I would say the majority of these, even
Yep.
the ones I enjoyed,
Uh-huh.
like I'm not going to look back in 10 years and go, oh man, what a classic.
What a ride,
Because
yeah.
like most movies for me are like, what a fun time. Never have to see it again.
Right.
Like that's how I
Uh-huh.
look at most things. What do we got? So Batman v Superman. It's
The very linchpin that started this podcast.
yes.
First episode 1 probably, or 2 or something.
Something like that. They announced it.
Yep.
Or something.
We were real excited.
Yeah.
Now, new listeners, if you this is your first episode, if you want a real thrill ride, start at the start and watch our enthusiasm for this movie wax and wane. We're filled with hope.
Yep.
We hit a peak and then we run into a trough.
Yeah, that's right. Big time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say that the Batman v Superman actual episode is one of their favorites
Oh, the review.
because it's just us like kicking it. And you know what? I didn't even hate it. And I came out of it more negative than you did, and then I think it's kind of shifted.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Because we did a commentary of it, and you just lost it by the end.
By the end, it was
you were grabbing for that bullet, mate.
well, we had to do the extended edition.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? Saves this movie for me is a lot of the set pieces are really, really good.
I agree.
Like the desert stuff's great. The Batman v Superman fight is a big letdown, but it's okay.
But no, it's real bad.
Well, and it's too late in the game because nothing happens. And it opens so strong with the Metropolis being destroyed on the back of Man of Steel.
That's true, yeah.
And Batman's bloody running through the city and he's driving his Jeep Cherokee. You can't stop him, mate. Where did he get the little
Where'd he
sirens?
get the lights? Where'd he get the lights and sirens? You're not allowed to have those, Bruce. I don't care if you're rich.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff in this
He goes to
movie.
Lucius Fox in the R&D department and he's like, "Can we get some? Got my Jeep Cherokee at the front. Can you invent some sort of flashing blue and red lights?" Okay, Bruce.
Sure. I guess you're rich, so who's going to stop you?
Yeah,
I don't think he actually runs the lights, though, does he?
I don't know. Also, I think they're yellow. I don't know. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Well, it's like a security car. You can only run them when they're stationary. They
Yeah,
can't
it's-
run them when they're going
yeah.
anywhere.
Uh-huh.
So there's moments in this movie where I'm like, oh, that's good, that's fun, and whatever. And Superman is portrayed better in the longer version on the
Okay, yeah.
Blu-ray. But even then, I have a lot of problems with this Superman. I know people are saying like, oh, he's building to it. He's getting there, just But Batman didn't build to it. He's just Batman.
Yeah. Mhm.
And the Batman in this is great.
Yep.
Except for all the people that he murders. There's still people that fight me on that. Like, they'll be like, you said, because I did a kill count.
Yep.
As we know, or as you know at least, unless it's your first episode, there's a Batman kill count from this video that I made.
It's on the
And
YouTubes.
and it's all the times that he killed. People are like, that one doesn't count as a kill because there was only 2 people in the car. You said it was 4 or whatever. He still killed a bunch of people. Whatever way you look at it,
Yep.
he murdered a bunch of people.
Yep.
It's between whatever it is, 20
If you
and
said,
40.
hey, I killed... If I said, hey, James, I heard you killed 4 people, and you're like, no, it was only 2
Yeah.
for no reason, I'd be like, it's still probably too many.
Yeah, it's too many. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So, do you think this universe can course correct, Mason, in Suicide Squad, which we'll get to?
Aww.
We'll come to that in a minute,
Yeah.
maybe.
Look, again, and I feel we've been accused of being Marvel fanboys on this show.
Though
And to a
last
certain-
week you just kicked Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah, look, to some degree I probably am, but
Yeah.
at the same time, the reason I hate Batman Superman so much is because I love Batman and Superman.
Yes.
And for 25 years I've been reading, Batman and Superman teaming up. They're the world's finest superhero duo,
Yeah, man.
and this is their debut live action, and it just crushed me how bad it was. So I wish it were better, because then I could be because the layman goes, oh, Batman versus Superman, why wouldn't Superman just kill Batman immediately?
Yeah, good
And you have
question.
to be like, well, as a comic book fan,
Yeah.
I can tell you because Batman is very prepared and he blah blah blah, and
That's
he's got
right.
the technology and what have you.
There's a dozen or so ways more that you could write it.
Why
Yeah.
don't we just watch the movie and see how that plays out? And then
Yeah.
you have to be like, oh, the reason he won is because Superman's real dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Real
he
dumb.
takes the 2 kryptonite gas canisters.
Ah.
Fair enough, he took the first one. And you said you could recut that fight. But
I feel you could recut the
we
whole
were talking
film.
about this the other day. But no, you said you could
Did we do it on air? I can't
No,
remember.
we did it. We were meeting with the Filthy Casual guys.
Oh, yeah, that's
Remember
right, yeah.
them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. By the way, great podcast. You should listen to it. We'll talk about it a bit later, maybe.
Yeah, you could recut the whole movie as a better film, like a Phantom Edit style thing.
Yeah.
You cut out some of the more egregious murders.
Yep.
And you alter that fight scene so he doesn't get...
But you have to take out one of the best bits from that fight scene.
Where Superman recovers from the kryptonite gas,
yeah.
and slowly as Batman is punching him,
Yeah.
and the punches get less and less effective. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that bit. Yeah.
I don't know how you can
So
do
you'd
it.
have to take that bit out and then the bit where he takes the second gas canister to the face.
Yeah.
And just have Batman just
Wallop him for like 4 minutes.
Just hit him for 4 minutes, yeah. So look,
I reckon it's doable.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm not watching it if you do it.
Well, I'm not doing it, so you're safe, I guess. Also, the car chase is great.
Yes, it is. Even though all the murders,
All the murders.
yeah. But it's a
And
bit of a slog.
Jeremy Irons is great in it.
He is, yeah.
The Batcave looks great. It all
Yep.
looks good.
Kevin Smith apparently is watching.
Kevin Smith looks good.
He does. He keeps watching it and watching it.
Hoping
until
he'll love it.
Until he loves it, yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
But I still think there is some stuff to like in this, but I also think that
Costumes are great.
costumes are great.
Jar of Piss is great.
That's one thing I really hate. They
Yeah.
really miscast Lex Luthor.
Yep.
And I was one of those benefit of the doubt, let's see what they do.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yep.
They shouldn't have done it like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yep.
But that is a inaccurate.
Here's
Not
something.
even accurate. It's just a shit version.
Here's something that I thought of. In that movie, Scoot McNairy is a man who's lost his legs. He's in
Yeah.
a wheelchair.
He has to scoot around.
He has to scoot about, and
Yeah.
he goes to this congressional hearing or this Senate hearing,
Yeah.
and Lex Luthor's put a bomb in his wheelchair,
Yeah.
and Superman is there as well to answer some questions from the Senate, and he
Because
does.
he killed all these people in the desert by shooting them.
That's right, with bullets.
Yeah.
Traditional Superman bullets,
Which
right?
is fixed in the Ultimate Cut. But anyway, go on.
Yeah. And so, but it's a lead lined
Yes.
wheelchair, so Superman doesn't see the bomb
Yeah.
and explodes and it kills everybody. But in that scene, Lex Luthor's already had a conversation with that senator about don't give it a big jar of piss and call it Granny's peach tea or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And so she goes to the Senate hearing and she realizes she goes in there and she looks under her desk and there's a big.
It's not even on there. It's just sitting on the desk.
It's a jar of like yellowy liquid, and it's labeled Granny's peach tea. And then she's shocked, and then the building explodes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Superman. Well, all right. First of all, I think we've covered this. Where did Lex Luthor get all the piss? Because it's a lot of piss. I
It's
assume
been 7 it up.
he was either
Do you reckon he did a pass around at the office?
whip around at the office. He was like, "Can everybody piss in this? It's for charity." But secondly, Superman didn't notice the bomb because it was in a lead-lined case,
Which isn't actually said in the original cut. It's said in the ultimate cut.
Right.
Yeah.
But we assume that.
Yeah.
The larger question is, why didn't he smell the piss?
Maybe it wasn't piss.
Look, no,
I mean, it was piss, wasn't it?
look, he's got enhanced senses. And look, again, there's some, the senator knows some of this wisdom, like don't piss in the thing and call it Granny's peach tea.
Yeah.
Surely Superman, he's got some Kansas wisdom as well. If there's too much piss, there's something amiss. And surely he'd be like, why is there so much piss in this? There's so much piss in this room.
But do you think he's...
No, because he'd count all the people in the room and he'd be like, even factoring in all the piss that's in everybody's
It's a lot
bladders.
of piss.
Why is there seems more piss? Does somebody have a really big
Maybe he was distracted.
Oh no, there's a bomb!
Also, there's if he did stop that bomb,
Yes.
there's a big jar of piss on the table that has to be accounted for. Do you reckon she'd take it and be like, this is Lex Luthor's piss, I'm fairly certain. Do you want to run some tests? Do you reckon that's how that would go?
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway. And also, I just thought of this now. I'm not really sure on his powers, Superman's powers, because
Lex Luthor, he can piss. He's got a lot of piss.
he's got a lot of piss, we know that. Or he's good at doing a pass around. But that bomb goes off and Superman's just standing there. But we've seen also he can get hit and he'll kind of like it kind of hurts him or he'll get kind of taken aback.
Yep.
But here he's just standing there and the whole room's on fire.
I think it's like a firebomb more than a regular bomb.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
Okay.
Anyway, it's kind of shit.
Yep. But right now it stands at number 2 in the best superhero movies of 2016. Well done, Batman, Superman.
Good job.
Now that's what I call the dawn of justice.
Indeed. Still, I'm looking forward to what's next.
Yeah, me too.
Just
Make it good.
Get
please.
it together. Come on.
Please, God.
Superman is like my favorite comic book character. I just want to see a good version of that.
Yeah.
And a mullet, which is the bad version, I acknowledge.
Yep.
I know that's a
What
contradiction.
if he came back as Electric Superman? What if that was the
Look,
twist?
man, if it works, anything can work. Except for Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor. No, but anything can work, you know what I mean? And I don't care.
What if he came
what
back
they
as
do.
Electric Superman Blue and Electric Superman Red?
Same actor?
Yes.
Look, if it's possible, they won't do it. It's possible it could work. It probably wouldn't. Wasn't one was more kind of angry and one was...
One was more, yeah,
blue.
I think so. Yeah.
One was sadder. Well, they got
Yeah.
that part nailed, haven't they?
Yep.
Next one. Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
Also a budget of $250 million. But
Other 2 movies, you've just been bumped to 2 and 3.
yes.
Twist, Batman, Superman 2, Deadpool 3. Nah, just kidding.
Civil War made 1.132 billion. Sorry. Wow, that would have not... Ugh. And this movie...
What if that was the reveal, like, today? So one of the accountants is going through the tax return. He's just like,
Oh, no.
oh, no. I've written B, but it was M. I'm in a lot of trouble.
But this is kind of like the culmination of universe building and establishing characters and the end of phase 2 and or the start of 3, whatever phase we're in, wherever it's at, it was the culmination of all those things. And it's a pretty bloody stellar execution.
Yeah.
Which is why it comes in at number 2, Mason. No, it's 1.
It's
the
number
first
1, isn't it?
A lot of people do think Deadpool is the best comic book movie
That's
of the year,
fair.
and I can completely understand that.
It's fun. I know some people who don't care for superhero movies and they're like, oh, I saw Deadpool on a plane or whatever, and I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, what kind of weird version of Deadpool do you watch on a plane?
Yeah.
What have they cut out of that?
All the sex stuff.
All the the weird sex stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Civil War, I mean, it's one of those things where you wonder whether it kind of can deliver on the quality and the promise, and even Winter Soldier, which is a fantastic kind of pre-film. Yeah, it's a fantastic war movie. And it did for me on all of those levels. Maybe it was the IMAX that we saw it in, Mason. Maybe it was just that it's a pretty well put together movie.
Maybe it's because they gave me a swag bag.
You won a swag bag.
Yes,
you
I
son
did.
Of a bitch. Yeah, you son of a
Maybe it's
dog.
all the music I enjoy on my sweet Civil War themed Bluetooth speaker.
Do you still use it? Or
No,
have
I've
you
never used it.
Ah, you. But no, how did it play out for you?
Great.
Not the speaker, the movie.
Oh, then also great.
Okay, good.
Just it's it's kind of longish, but I don't feel there's any wasted time in
Yep.
it. Every action beat sort of furthers the story and explains a character. Like there's the opening. We've got an opening action sequence where the good guys are chasing some terrorists through a city, and
Yep.
every action beat is like, okay, we get what this character is about, we get what their skills are, we get what their powers are. And by the end of that, you're like, okay, I get all these people. I get them.
Do you think you need to have seen the other movies to enjoy Civil War?
No, I don't
Yeah,
think
you
so.
can just go into it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it helps,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I think this didn't make as much money as the Avengers, and maybe not even Age of Ultron. I might be wrong about that. But I think the Avengers is more accessible as a movie.
Okay.
Like as if you haven't seen the other ones. But yeah, I think this one definitely helps if you've had a bit of background. Did you enjoy the giant text, the giant fonts for new locations?
Absolutely, I did.
Yeah.
Berlin.
New York,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah. What else is that? The villain. That's people say is one of the weaker points.
I disagree.
He's not a comic book villain, so from that aspect, yeah, I can understand
Yeah.
that because he doesn't have the purple mask.
He doesn't have his purple balaclava on.
Yes.
His weird golden earmuffs and his little tiara.
Yeah, but I thought he was because he was also a villain that knew he couldn't beat up the Avengers, so he just
Yeah.
had them beat up each other.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's why that worked
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
And I think we also had reached the point in these movies where just another fight between the Avengers and a bunch of CGI whatevers
Yeah.
would have been, or just a bunch of evil dudes would have been real annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the reveal in Civil War where they say, okay, there's 5 more super soldiers. They're more powerful than the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
And you're going to have to go and fight him. And I did go, oh, all right. Here we go. I guess this will be fine. The action's been fine. It'll probably be interesting, but I'm
Yeah.
kind of sick of this. And then when we get to the secret base and they're all dead, I actually went, relief.
Yeah, thank God. And you know what? Because we saw what they could do.
Yeah.
What, do we need to see any more? Do we need to see 5 Buckies? You know
No,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like fighting and whatever. I enjoyed the Winter Soldier aspect of this. He's a really strong part of this universe that they've built up since like the first Avenger. Like it's pretty impressive the way that they've kind of weaved his arc in. And that metal arm it's never looked better. In
Right.
my humble opinion.
Uh-huh. It's not done enough stuff for me, but what can you do?
It will maybe now because he's going to have Wakandan
Upgraded,
technology.
yeah.
Because it's like a 60s Soviet
That's true.
era metal arm.
They never establish the answer to that.
The ring?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Panther T'Challa wears some sort of he wears the King's royal seal ring.
Yeah.
and it seems to have some sort of weird magnetic effect on
Yeah.
Bucky's arm, but it's never fully explored.
Yeah. Do you think that's something that I think they've hinted that will be explained.
Huh.
Do you think it's an adamantium ring?
Vibranium?
Vibranium ring. It'd have to be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's
Well, this
like-
whole
yeah.
suit's bloody
Yeah, totally.
vibranium. Vibranium.
Mm.
Vibranium.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like. Speaking of that, I like the fact that again we've gotten to this point where we've got these characters. We've got Iron Man's got this Hulkbuster suit that can bring down a building, and
Yeah.
T'Challa's got this. His Black Panther, his warrior armor is completely bulletproof, and it's not even an issue.
Yeah.
He's just on the rooftop, bullets are bouncing off. We've gotten to that point, and they can just plow through all the bad guys.
Yes.
So we have to find something that they can't just defeat with punching.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's intrigue.
Yes. And each other. Punching
Tricks.
Each other. And
Yeah.
tricks and intrigue. One thing I know that you remember was a bit of a sticking point was the fact that everybody thought Bucky set off that bomb.
Uh-huh.
Even though Tony Stark would have the ability to look at that footage and be like, well, he doesn't walk like Bucky.
Yeah,
He's not-
exactly,
he's-
right.
He's not weighted with somebody who has a metal
Yeah.
arm and...
If Iron Man's suit can analyze Captain America's fight patterns,
Yeah.
every punch he's ever thrown,
Yeah.
and come up with a new fight, a fighting
a series
technique.
of punches of its own.
That's
Yeah.
right. Then surely his computer system on its own would go, that's not him.
It's interesting that they never showed the Bucky mask. Like, was it a rubber mask? Was it one of those,
Yeah.
those weird mesh hologram masks?
We don't know.
What was
Yeah.
it? Yeah. But I liked how they tied it into Age of Ultron, and I liked that Tony Stark finally got his comeuppance.
Yes.
Because he's just been a massive prick for every movie. He's never learned a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Until this movie.
True.
And then he learned all his lessons at once.
Right.
And he got beat up.
Yeah.
So I was really
Yeah.
happy with that. God damn, he deserved it. So yeah, because at the end of Age of Ultron, he's like, I nearly killed everybody, so everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody. And everyone was like, nah, you're right. And then the next movie was like, you know what, that's not okay.
Yeah. In the next movie, one person comes up to him and says, my son died. And he's like, well, we're going to change our ways and it's all your fault.
Yeah.
It's all your fault, guys. You did this.
Yeah. I love how General Ross is like, you guys are all dangerous and trouble. You made another Hulk.
That's
you made
right,
another
yeah.
Hulk and you set it loose.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's bloody management, isn't it?
it certainly is. Whose side were you on, Mason?
Captain America.
Yes. Now look, in the real world, I acknowledge that you would need kind of systems in place.
Oh, here we
If there,
go.
if there was a team like
Here comes another rant from Mr. Establishment. All right, here we go.
no, but you need a system in place. You can't just have people going in and doing everything, doing whatever.
True.
But in this comic book universe where the president is probably a robot or an alien or whatever.
Or trapped in the Iron Patriot suit.
That's right, yeah. Then you need
Can't get out, guys.
then a team like this is necessary because everybody's probably Hydra.
Yeah.
Or AIM or something.
Yeah. Mm.
So that's how I stand on that, Mason.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain America, what a good bloke, isn't he? He's still
Absolutely.
a good bloke. He gave up his shield because
Mm-hmm.
he's a good bloke. Did you see the twist coming that the parents, Tony Stark's parents, were murdered by Winter Soldier?
Isn't
Even
that...
that was mentioned in
It's mentioned in
Winter
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Sort of, well, it's implied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was not surprised.
No, me neither. He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't like that
Yeah.
at all. Do you think it was strange how he flipped out even though he knew he was mind controlled? You know how many people Tony Stark's killed?
So many people,
So
right?
many parents.
Yeah,
He
probably.
killed Quicksilver's parents and that, didn't he? Because remember they were trapped
Oh,
under a
yeah,
building.
with
or-
Stark built munitions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Really good point.
Oh, we got to talk about the airport scene.
Yep.
Really, really good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best action sequences of all time, or comic book action
I would
sequences
say
of
so.
all time. Which
Stop
one?
leaning in. It's weird.
Okay.
No, I don't like it. Yeah, great. And we finally got Giant Man.
And you were surprised by that, even though you knew it was coming. Because I remember when you were in the cinema, you were like, ho, ho, ho!
Yeah.
Like, just before it was happening.
Yeah, real
You were
good.
very excited.
Ah.
God, that
Everybody, and it wasn't everybody had the skills. Everybody showed their skills. Everybody was evenly matched.
Yep.
You go, okay, I understand why everybody here is on the team.
yes.
You know?
Exactly.
Here's
Be-
why Hawkeye and
Best
Black
use
Widow
of
are on the team.
Hawkeye, yeah.
Yep, uh-huh.
I liked his fight with the Vision.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because that's how long he would last, about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Like he'd have one trick and then the Vision would be on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was super cool. Anyway, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you have. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine. You've seen it.
Would you say, well, actually, that's one I have watched again.
Me too.
I have watched Civil War again,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There you go. And that speaks volumes, doesn't it, Mason? Mm-hmm. A thumbs up as well. For that
Thumbs
one.
up. We've both given the thumbs up.
So that's number 1?
Yep.
All right.
But maybe it'll be toppled by whatever's next.
X-Men Apocalypse.
No, it's not being toppled. That's at 4. I'm cool.
Yep, I agree. It's also at 4. Even though I didn't hate it, it's just flat. And it
Yeah.
should be better. And the ending is shit. The budget of $178 million, diminishing returns, Mason, $554 million international box office. That's 2/3 of Days of Future Pasts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the goodwill that was built up from First Class has been thoroughly wrung out at this
Yeah,
point.
that's right.
I still think Fassbender and McAvoy are great, and I really like the Fassbender Magneto family stuff. He got another family murdered.
Yes, he did.
But I didn't even mind the young X-Men. I thought they'd be more generic than what they were, but they were okay.
Yep, sure.
Why do I hate this then?
I hated it because I'm trying to even think.
I don't hate it. It's just, at least Batman v Superman is kind of a big swing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big swing and a miss, but
Yeah.
still. Yeah.
Mm.
It,
This takes no real chances. We only get the suits at the end
yep.
for like a second.
We know that everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And even if the world ended, they just reboot it, so who cares?
Which they are doing.
Yep. So, yeah. I can't even remember why. Go back to our X-Men Apocalypse review.
I think I was definitely more kind on it than you were.
Yeah.
You know what? Also, I thought I didn't like how Mystique's a good guy. And this is why they shouldn't also bring back Jennifer Lawrence, because it's done. They've
Yep.
got they've got everything out of Mystique you could possibly get at this point.
Yep.
They've taken that character further than a lot of the comic book versions have.
There's a really great cosplay. I don't know if you've seen
Is it the half and half one?
It's the half and
I
half
have seen
one.
that
She's half
yeah.
Mystique, half a sort of a general. Looks
Yep.
incredible. She's
Yep.
mid-transformation.
Okay,
Real
then.
good. Don't know who that is, but good on her.
Good on him, mate.
You know what? I hated it because one of the reasons I hated it because it was very inconsistent in terms of when you first see Apocalypse, he can do that thing where he pulls some sand off the wall and he cuts people's heads off with
yeah,
it.
man.
Just do that at the end.
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing it at the end? You could have killed everybody.
Because of Dark Phoenix saga.
Ugh. Oh yeah, that's right. And we just she just saves the day at the end. There's no real inkling that she can just do all the things she does at the end. You sort of have to know that she has these Phoenix abilities.
Well, they mentioned in the start that everyone's afraid of her.
Yeah.
There's a good training sequence of Cyclops, how he destroys that tree. That's
yeah.
pretty good. They do Quicksilver again.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
That's not as good. It's not as good
no,
a
well, it's
version.
because we've seen it. That's. What do you mean? The effects not as good, or just the impact overall?
Not as good.
Yeah.
Also, there's another inconsistency. He moves at this incredible speed to save everybody in the fraction of a second before this bomb blows up and kills all the
Yep.
students. He comes out, and then they hit him with a sonic cannon, and he tumbles over.
He's like, what?
What? That's moving at the speed of sound.
Correct.
He could have really easily just moved out of the way.
Yes, but he didn't
Because
he
they
had to be
needed, for plot reasons, he needed to be captured.
for plot reasons, we needed to see Wolverine.
Yep. Yeah.
That bit was good. That was a good bit when Wolverine was in it.
I guess
And then he
so.
did that weird run into the forest. Remember? The
Yeah.
camera holds on a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to get that Hugh Jackman, make the most of it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? What did you think of the Weapon X paraphernalia?
That was fine.
Yeah, that was okay for, He wasn't naked though, which I did not enjoy.
They didn't really need him.
No, of course not. But
could've
they
just-
put him in the trailer though.
Yeah.
And then people go, oh, Wolverine's in this.
I
or
meant they
whatever.
didn't really need to have him come in and film anything.
What, just not for show his face?
No, they could have just filmed his face and then CGI'd it onto some sort of Olympic sprinter or something.
You think that's more effort than just getting him for like 3 days?
Oh, I guess so. Fine.
And
But
also,
he'd have to bulk up again. Or he'd
but no,
have to-
he's constantly bulking up.
Oh.
He's in a constant state of bulk.
Huh.
Except I think he's trimmed down a bit for Logan.
Yeah.
But no, because that was also off the back of what was the last one he did? Whatever the last one he did, he still had the bulk, mate.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Don't you worry. He knows what he's doing. Don't
Alright.
tell Hugh Jackman how to bulk or not bulk, mate. It'd be interesting to see.
4 words, people at Comic Con, I've maintained the bulk. And everybody's like, woo, he could be in anything.
How does he do it?
Wow, he could be in any movie. He could be in a movie tomorrow. Woo.
I loved it. I saw an interview with the director of, this is unrelated, of Les Mis, which is great. I really enjoy that movie. But and they're like, yeah, Hugh Jackman turned up on the day and he'd clearly worked out for the role and he was ready to go to be Jean Valjean. No, it's what he just looks like. He's doing X-Men movies, so he just looks like
Right.
he just looks like that. Yeah.
I've not seen Les Mis. Is Jean Valjean traditionally very ripped?
Well, he's big because he spends 19 years like doing hard labor.
Okay.
So yeah, he is. He's strong.
He'd be wiry more than ripped.
Sure. Yeah, he's probably more wiry. Yeah, he's definitely wiry, but there's a bit in it. The reason he gets discovered, and one of the reasons, because he lifts a cart off a person.
Oh.
And Javert's like, what the fuck? Like, why can he do that? And it's because he's got the bulk, mate.
He tore that cart apart with his adamantium claws.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a good movie. I like Les Mis a lot. It's really
Alright.
cool. And Eddie Redmayne's in it. Your favourite.
No.
We'll be talking about him next week, Mason, because it's Fantastic Beast week.
All right,
Anyway, we're going to move on. It's shit.
Yeah, it's no good. And also, why the inconsistencies? Why make Psylocke look exactly like Psylocke? Why make...
Psylocke's in this?
Not Psylocke, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Okay.
Why make Psylocke look exactly like Psylocke? Why make Nightcrawler look exactly like Nightcrawler, etc., etc.? Then why make Apocalypse look like
Garbage.
garbage? Thank you. That's the word I was searching for. Make him consistent. Make him look like the cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. Make him...
Give him the A on his belt.
Yeah, man.
So you know he's Apocalypse.
Make him...
Give him like weird tubes.
Yeah, make him tall.
Yeah. Make him grow real big, but for reals.
Yeah, not in
dream
the mind.
You know what? That's something I hate about a Bryan Singer kind of like a.
He's reluctant to do a comic book thing.
Don't give me it. We've gone far beyond. I think here's a little styler. Here's a little nod to what the fans would like, but we can't do it because that would be silly.
Yeah.
No, just do it.
Yeah.
I don't want him to grow real big in a dream sequence to show that he's, too overwhelming for Professor X to make him real big.
Yeah.
And the army shoots at him and he's like, "Rah, I'm like King Kong." You know? You can even say that.
I'm like King Kong.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And also, all these movies were building towards Professor X going bald.
Right, exactly. But then it turns out in a rift from continuity. Nah, he's not bald. He just shaves his head.
Yeah,
Logan.
because in the new in Logan, he's got the balding pattern.
Unless we establish that maybe he's spent the last several decades attempting to regrow his hair,
Right.
like through mental powers, and he's just managed to grow the crown back, and he's working his way to the top.
All right, well, look, if they could build that into the universe, that'd be
Could,
great.
Mhm,
Yeah.
I think so.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows.
I had a real good fun time with this one.
Nah, shit, mate. What do you like about it?
I like that it was exactly like the cartoon, except live action.
And not as good. Or as
No.
good as I remember.
No, it was better.
Yeah, you're right. It probably was. I would have
It
loved
had a
it.
turtle van. It had a
Yeah.
Casey Jones who just wanted to be a cop.
Nah, he sucked. He was bad in it. It was a bad
He's not that
version.
interesting. Looked fun. Technodrome, Krang,
Nah, that was all shit.
big old shredder blades.
It was the same. It ended the same way as the previous one.
Hadn't seen it.
Yeah,
Wasn't burned out on it.
sure.
What are our options there? What are we?
Bebop and Rocksteady are good.
They're great in it.
The bit with the tank is good.
Yep.
All the turtles are fine.
Yep.
Splinter's a rat.
Yep.
They swapped out Shredder, but he doesn't do anything. He just goes into Krang's
That's right.
storage facility.
Yeah, he inexplicably ends up there.
Yeah.
That was fun. Everybody's got a teleporter.
I think it's a great kids movie, but you
Yeah.
know what? It was a budget of 135.
And aren't we all a kid at heart?
Yeah, I guess so. Especially if you do a podcast.
Sucked
on what we do. A budget of 135 million made 245 million.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's it. We're not
No
getting
more
any
sequels?
Good.
That's a shame.
Yeah. And I bet they're confused because they're like, but we did everything that we wanted. Yeah, but the last one wasn't very good. I thought it was okay. And this one wasn't much better. And the story was shit. You can't just put all this stuff in. You got to do something with it. Like, do something interesting. Like, the first Ninja Turtles movie from 1990 or whatever it is, that is still the best Ninja Turtles movie. And I still argue that movie holds up
Okay.
for a lot of it.
I bet it drags.
Man, I love being a turtle.
Yep.
So we do the next one?
You gotta know what a crumpet is to play cricket.
That's right.
Or whatever.
Elias Cotier.
6 runs.
6 runs, mate.
Golf. No, I reckon it was good. Where am I going to put it in the... Okay, Civil War.
You know what? I'm going to put it above Apocalypse
Uh-huh.
because at least it did all the comic book stuff.
So what are you putting out? 4?
4, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we got now? I've lost my train of thought.
We got Civil War.
I'm going to put it at 3.
Okay, so you're putting above Batman, Superman.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you know what? I wasn't expecting anything, and...
It delivered.
It delivered. I had fun. BBS expecting a lot. Got nothing.
Wow, that's really on you then, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Manage your expectations.
Speaking
What we should have called the show. Manage your expectations.
Speaking of managing expectations, Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah.
I didn't hate it. I still don't hate it. I was going to watch it again for this episode because I've only seen it once.
And then I said, but then we're going to have to do a commentary on the extended version, so that means you're going to have to watch it 3 times. And you said, good point. Actually, I won't.
So I understand why people hate it. I understand that it is upside down broken.
Yep.
I understand that it's been edited weird and the end scenario is just fighting a whole bunch of weird googly-eyed monsters
Yep.
with a blue light shooting into the sky. I understand that Will Smith just Will Smiths it. He doesn't really do Deadshot stuff. And I understand that the action sequences... well, how did
No
you
good.
describe them?
I assume in the script, it just said a whole bunch of googly-eyed mud monsters show up in the city square, and there's a big fight, and everybody fights. And then they just went, we'll do it on that. We'll do specifics on the day.
Yeah.
And they got there on the day, and David Ayer, directors, just said, okay,
Will Smith, can you stand on a car?
stand on a car, we'll film you in a minute.
That's the best action sequence.
And the
bit,
rest
yeah.
are terrible because he just went, okay, everybody stand there. The bad guys are CGI, so if you've got a gun, fire the gun. If you don't, just swing something wild. Swing a weapon or your fist wildly.
Yep.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
It's so boring. I'm talking about Civil War, and they should all stand on their own or whatever, but Civil War, by the end of the first action sequence, you know, Black Widow's a great martial artist and
Yep.
like kind of acrobat.
Yep.
And she's got the skills, and Falcon can fly, and he's got the
skills.
He's got the skills. He's got the Redbird drone.
Yeah.
He's got his wings can turn into a
Red Wing.
shield. Yeah, thank you. Scarlet Witch can do the telekinesis. Captain America,
Can captain about.
he can captain about. With this, I reckon a lot of people would have gotten to the end of the movie and gone, what can that guy do? We've seen him for 2 hours. I don't know. What can Killer Croc do? He's got a skin condition. That's it.
Yeah.
People were given weird busy work to do in this movie just so they had literally anything to do.
Yeah. And then they all were a family.
Yeah, no good.
What about
Weird, inconsistent motivations or no motivations.
what about Batman in it?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, really good.
For the 2 minutes he's in it.
Yeah, he's great.
Right.
What about the Joker? I'm on the fence. I don't know.
Same,
I,
yeah.
I can't. You know, one of the most commented on videos, and I still get comments on this. I made a video and I titled it "Worst Joker Ever," but it basically goes through and says, "Look, there's not enough of him in this to kind of make a definitive decision on him. He doesn't have enough screen time. It's okay." And a lot of people in the comments are like, "It's mostly women being like, he's so sexy. You're an idiot," or whatever. There's a lot of that. I think he appeals.
Look, in a way, if I can take 2 points from that, he is very sexy and you are an
Yes,
idiot.
that's right, yeah.
So I don't know if those two things
But also, I
combine.
wasn't saying he was bad. The point of the video is basically, in summary, he's okay.
Yeah.
Like, and there's not enough of him, and they kind of screwed him. Even though it's kind of hilarious how he was just eating rats and sending bullets and
Yeah.
whatever the hell he was doing for
Yeah.
like 6 months. And in all the interviews, he's like, I've gone delve into it, and I'm in the psychology of the Joker, and we just fucking freestyled all these scenes, and it's an amazing. And he's in it for like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to put this below Batman Superman
Right.
because even, we've had all this controversy that, it was, David Ayer had this dark, grim vision and it was
Yeah.
going to be this amazing drama, and then it was torn apart by the studio and they did a new version of the whatever.
Sure.
Fine. But you know what? Even if we got David Ayer's original vision, it seems kind of boring. It seems like a boring. Again, we're going back to this Bryan Singer kind of situation where it's like, oh well, we can't have Captain Boomerang throw any novelty boomerangs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. That's why he's in this. That's why we're not watching a war movie.
He was good though.
Yeah, for 5 minutes.
I mean, he's funny.
Yeah, he's
Jai
Jai He's fine in this.
Great in that.
But don't give me like the whole situation is. The Suicide Squad go in with a team of soldiers, and they just do soldier stuff. Cut out the soldiers or cut out the Suicide Squad. You don't need one of them.
Call it Soldier Squad.
Call it a squad of soldiers doing soldier things. If you're going to give me Killer Croc, have him eat some people's faces off.
Yep.
You're going to give me Katana, have a user enchanted Katana to steal
what
some
was
people's
that?
souls
Yeah.
real brutally.
Yeah.
If you're going to have Harley Quinn, maybe don't have Harley Quinn because what's the point of her being there?
She was good though. Margot Robbie
But
was
why
good.
is she on the squad?
Because Suicide Squad.
And that speaks to it being kind of poorly written. Because if you went, okay, if you had a character go, why is she in the Suicide Squad? She's just an okay gymnast.
Yeah.
And she's willing to kill people. You know what? Soldiers are good at killing people. They're willing to do it as well. But if you then went, okay, well, the reason she's in it is because we want to draw out the Joker for some reason.
Right.
To capture him. Maybe that's the key. That would make sense why she's on there. But
That's
that's
not really
not
elaborated
it.
on.
So...
And there's that whole Harley Quinn Joker subplot they cut out.
Yeah. I don't think
trimmed
this
down.
would have worked. I don't think the real version works. I don't think the extended version works.
Yeah.
I don't think the Joker's Wild version that we're inevitably going to get will work. I don't think David Ayer's original vision would have worked.
Okay.
I don't think any of it would have worked.
I would have liked to have just had this be a Mad Love movie. Just a
Same.
Joker Harley Quinn origin.
Yeah.
Even though I'm kind of sick of origins, but that's something we haven't seen properly.
Uh-huh.
And all this stuff, all their flashback stuff, I thought was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But hey,
Yep.
at the end of the day, Mason, I'm going to put it above Batman Superman, even though Batman Superman I guess it's structured better and it's got better action set pieces.
Yep.
But I think I've only seen it once, but I just
Yep.
thought it was, I was like, I like these characters. I like the way they bounce off each other for the most part.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it below Batman Superman for the reasons that I said before.
Okay.
And also, but I'm going to put it above Apocalypse because at least it went, here we are opening the floodgates to ridiculous stuff. in the
That
DC
is
universe.
something it did, yeah, because it brought in magic and monsters and all that kind of stuff.
And Apocalypse was just the same old garbage.
Yeah. Yep. Fair enough.
Wow, who thought this lineup was going to go like this? What a twist. What a series of twists.
Last one, Doctor Strange. We talked about it last week.
Yep.
I liked it.
Oh, where am I going to put this?
Well, look, you know what? Maybe we won't talk about it in depth because we just did.
We sure did.
Dog, stop hitting the microphone like some kind of vagabond.
Sit down, Doug.
Nah,
Sit
she's
down.
all right.
You're right.
Anyway, let's just talk, where would you put it then?
Okay, let's put it... What did I do?
Would you put it above Deadpool?
I think I would put it above Deadpool.
So you put it at 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Mm-hmm. And I like Deadpool, but
Yeah.
I thought I like the character of Doctor Strange more than I like the character of Deadpool, even though, well, like you said, like there's not enough magic-y stuff. but I understand why they didn't.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week.
We sure did. Go,
Just get into it.
Go back to that one.
So what's the definitive order, Mason? What have you got?
The definitive order is Captain America Civil War, number 1.
Yep.
Number 2, Doctor Strange. Number 3, Ninja Turtles.
Not Deadpool?
What did I say? No, I'm putting it above Deadpool.
Well, you're saying it first, so I have to
All right.
roll
Okay.
along.
Yep.
I have to go with it. I have to go with your list. Those are the rules.
Don't at me, everybody. Deadpool,
Yep.
Batman, Superman.
Yep.
Suicide Squad.
Apocalypse. Okay. Well, mine is slightly different, but them's the rules.
Too late.
mate.
You've got 2 options:
you know-
accept the list as given or reach for that bullet, and I don't think you will.
So overall, there was 7, was there, in total?
Yeah.
And we got 3 pretty good ones.
Yeah, great.
I'll take it.
I'll take slightly below 50%. There's 7. What can you do?
But there's also redeeming qualities in all of these. No?
If you say so. You've said it. I'm going to have to go with it. I don't necessarily agree, but all right.
If you've got a list, maybe Twitter us.
Yeah.
Send us a Twitter.
If there's look, if you can compact it into 140 characters, don't give us one of those tweets that it's the tweet, and then in order to read the end of the tweet, you have to click on that weird Twitter link at the end because there's too many characters.
Don't send us
What
a
did you do, Twitter? You ruined Twitter for me. I don't like it. It's not the point of Twitter.
No, it's not. Mm-hmm. But it's time for our next segment, Mason.
Oh, yeah.
What are we reading?
What we gonna read?
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? Mason, I'd love to know what you've been reading or what you are going to read.
You know what I'm not going to read or listen to because I was on it. I
Yes.
forgot to mention, I should have mentioned it up top. I'm on this week's episode of I Love Green Guide
I
Letters.
did listen to that,
With
yeah.
the comedian Saunders and Luke McGregor.
Love Luke McGregor. Love his new show.
Yeah. So they do most of the heavy lifting in this one because they are 2 professional comedians.
I thought you did very well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was there and I was very polite. Anyway, we talked about various things. It was real
You
good.
read 2 letters the entire time.
Yep.
It's not really about the letters.
It's not really about the letters anymore.
Yeah.
It's about good old fun times.
Absolutely.
You know what I read this week? I read the first 5 issues of a series that I was not aware of until recently, but it's good so far. It's a Vertigo series from a
Yeah.
few years ago called The Unwritten.
Okay.
And it's basically about this guy called Tom Taylor, and when he was a kid, his father created a series of boy wizard novels
Yes.
about a boy wizard called Tommy Taylor.
Yeah.
That are very, very closely modelled on this kid's actual life and appearance and kind of that sort of thing.
Right.
And it sort of ruined his life in a way because, you know, huge fans of this, you know, multi-million-dollar franchise think he's that guy.
Right.
And, you know, the last book in the series had this, you know, this character maybe go into the real world,
Oh,
which
okay.
is sort of added fuel to the fire of, oh, you're this guy kind of thing. And he hates it, and his father mysteriously disappeared many years ago, so he has to sort of deal with this estate and deal with this weirdness, and all of a sudden, and see he sort of makes appearances on like convention circuits and stuff like that because he can't touch the Tommy Taylor money.
Right,
So he's
right.
kind of making a living this way, and then all of a sudden, all this kind of weirdness from his father's past comes up. And
Magic is real?
Well, no, it's not about. It's not really the first 5 issues. It's not really about magic, but it's about this kind of conspiracy in the world of fiction and novels and writing. And it's kind of it's a
Okay.
weird world, but it's not like wizards are real. It's more
Yeah.
of like
Publishing?
publishing. Why you know, it's sort of like do words shape the world and the word shape society and this kind of thing. There might also be magic in it. Who's to
right
say?
then.
But I'm only 5 in, and
Do
there's like
words and or magic
Yeah.
shape society?
and
What's it
it's
called?
The Unwritten.
The
It's called.
Unwritten.
It's on Vertigo.
Okay, great.
What else did I bloody read? Something else.
I can tell you what I've been reading, Mason.
Okay.
And by playing, I mean I decided to buy Titanfall 2.
Okay,
The
you got
reason
there.
I bought it was because they didn't do any season passes or extended ultimate editions where you spend $120 and you get
Right.
it. They didn't do any of that.
Uh-huh.
And apparently it's not selling super well. But,
Yep.
the single player campaign's amazing, so I bought it off the back of that.
Uh-huh.
And the single player campaign, it's short, but it's incredible.
Uh-huh.
I like a lot of video games. A lot of time I play something, I'd be like, well, I've played like 10 variations on this. You know what I mean? I feel like I've kind of played everything. And a lot of this stuff I had seen before, but the way it's paced
Yep.
is just incredible. And the set pieces and the combat feels really good. And because you got a Titan with you, for a
Yep.
lot of the time you jump in and you just gun down a bunch of people.
Okay, here's a
with it.
question: how them guns?
Amazing.
Yeah,
Really good.
are they just solid like shooty guns? You got funny.
You got
nozzles,
lasers and you
yeah,
got all
nice.
sorts of stuff.
Missiles?
Yeah. You got missiles.
nice. You got heat seekers.
Yes, more of the Titans. Yes.
Oh yeah, nice.
There's also one of my favorite
Nice.
one of my favorite sections of the game, they just introduce a time travel element, and then they just scrap it immediately after. So you're going through this rundown facility, and there's kind of monsters in there attacking you, but then you can time jump instantly to before when the facility is being fully operational. So you got this ghost just running in and out of it, just killing guys and then jumping back and forth as you go. So like a guy will see you, you'll time travel, run behind where he was, and then reappear and then then kill him. Or whatever. It's great. It's really good.
Right.
And if you want to know more about it, Mason, I suggest you check out the podcast Filthy Casuals. We're
Oh,
giving it
yeah.
a bit of a bloody...
Yeah.
We're trying to kind of...
This is an official tie-in, by the way.
Yeah.
Last week it seemed like a coincidence, but we're trying to
kind of, I don't know, boost up some Australian podcasts and whatnot. Because,
Yeah.
well, they're friends of yours,
we
obviously.
feel a
as well.
duty as a podcast, an Australian podcast that is inexplicably popular. When we have a lot of friends who have great podcasts,
Yeah.
they're also good and fun, but
That's
maybe
right.
don't have as many downloads as us. We're like, we should
They
get...
still do all right, though,
Yeah, I know,
Mason.
right? They do
Don't
great.
you worry about that. So I'd say you could download last week's episode. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Or maybe even this new one, Mason.
Yeah,
That's coming. It's out Wednesday? Wednesday, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like us in the sense that it's an irreverent take on video games.
Yeah, exactly.
We're irreverent. The Onion AV Club once called us ... irreverent ...
Did they?
Yeah.
Good on us.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't think we've ever reached any kind of... That's as high as we've kind of reached, isn't
Isn't it,
That's
though?
it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
pinnacle. Great.
What else? Oh, I read that issue of Superman Rebirth. It
Oh,
was
by
fun.
the way, I'll link that below as well, the Filthy Casuals pod.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Check it out, mate.
I'm going to.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to listen to it anyway. So.
Yeah, good.
What else did I bloody read this week? The Superman Rebirth was good.
Yep.
I started reading something called The Omega Men,
Yeah.
which is a DC comic from a couple of years ago, and it's basically sort of a maxi series,
Right.
And it's about Kyle Rayner, former Green Lantern, joins the Omega Men, who
Okay.
are like a resistance force in a distant star system. It's real good.
You a Kyle Rayner fan?
Yes. Well, he was my Green Lantern, I guess, growing up. so-
Sure. And you enjoyed how his girlfriend was jammed in the fridge.
No, I didn't enjoy that. People stop bringing it up. God. Anyway, it's about war and sacrifice. It's real good, and the art's great.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Nice. It's about it.
That's about it.
Also, I'm gonna watch. Haven't watched it yet. Our friend Raw Collings. Robert
Yes.
Collings has done a video about the Doctor Strange's audition for the Avengers, which I haven't seen yet. But
Right, but you're excited to do it?
he does some great work. So
He absolutely does, Mason.
pretty good.
I've not watched that yet either, but I bet it's bloody good. And that's a very funny sequence that you described from
Invented
last
in my
week's.
little head.
That's right.
Yeah.
I hope you're ready for the next segment of the
Maybe
show,
I
Mason.
am. Maybe I'm not.
Classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. Hang on, they're here right now. We're gonna do letters.
I was ready.
I thought you were.
Spoiler.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Mason. I got a letter here. If you want to get a letter to the show, hashtag Weekly Planet Pod, and then we'll read out 3. This is the first of the 3.
Okay, number 1.
This is from Greyman777.
I'm going to definitively rank these 3.
Okay, good.
Mm.
Do you think we'll ever see any flippy Jedi action a la prequels in future Star Wars?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because that was the prequels were flippy to the extreme.
Would you say to their detriment?
Yes.
Okay, good.
But at the time though, what do you reckon?
The second one, yes, because it was just Yoda flipping. And that
But the
looked-
first one, it was kind of novel,
and
because it was
you hadn't seen it, and a lot of those were real flips.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the first one, it was sort of, well, this is what the Jedi could do at the height of their power. They
Right.
weren't shuffling about in Death Star corridors, getting a lightsaber so only their robes remained. It was, it was the real deal.
Absolutely, it was. Yeah.
I don't think they can go back to that. I think
No.
a flip above a certain height, people will be like, "Ugh, Phantom Menace." Like,
Yeah.
they'll feel it in their bones and they'll check out of the movie. So I don't think it'll ever go. Well, they'll never reach those heights metaphorically or literally.
No, that is a shame.
Mm.
If any of them could flip, do you think it has to be like a CGI character to do it?
No, that would be even worse.
But Luke can flip. We've seen him flip.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You mean like you'd be okay with seeing like a gymnast flip?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay,
fine,
good.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
good, Mason.
I think they might even get, the storyboards from Return of the Jedi and go, okay, measure this out.
Right.
They cannot flip above this height.
Yeah, sure.
You must be this tall to ride, and you cannot be above this flipper level.
Yeah,
Because otherwise it's going to look ridiculous. Everything's been toned down.
absolutely it has.
If anybody's going to do a flip,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be a flip, But if anybody's going to do one of these over the top kind of looming leap, it'd be like a Kylo Ren,
Right, okay.
because the bad guys are allowed to. I feel the bad guys are allowed to sort of.
They can cheat a little bit.
Yeah, they can cheat a little
Well, they've
bit.
got cheaty lightsabers as well, don't they?
That's true.
Yeah. So that's number one, obviously, that tweet. That's the best tweet.
Ranked number one so far.
Are there any other actors who have been demoted down the superhero ranks like Brandon Routh?
Brendan Routh, who's
Kicking
now
the
who
dick,
started
mate.
as Superman and is now
Atom.
at the Atom.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that's a demotion, though. Because what had he really done before? And he's got steady work and he's
That's
a pretty
true.
talented dude.
Yeah.
And now he's got a every week gig, mate.
Yeah,
and
that's
people
right.
enjoy him in the role.
Yeah.
I mean, what would he have done after Superman if he wasn't Superman? Like, you know what I mean?
Good question.
Yeah.
Just be handsome in things, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. I think he's a great Superman, actually. I thought he did a good Christopher Reeve kind of. He did what that movie called for.
True.
Sad Dad.
Oh yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Who else has been demoted?
I got some here
Yep.
that I've written down. Adam West for a while.
Demoted to basically nothing but
Or
Batman.
just doing Batman Forever
Yeah,
or Batman parodies.
He didn't do Batman Forever.
No, he didn't. But there's a lot of those, like a lot of the early superheroes, like even Chris Reeve didn't kind of
Yeah.
do.
Oh, this is more like a
just mean-
typecasting issue.
Yeah, or whatever, or however you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like Linda Carter, they'll get her to show up in like Sky High and be like, "I'm not Wonder Woman," you know,
Yeah,
because
that's
she's
true.
the principal in that.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I like that movie though. So yeah, I think it used to happen more than it does kind of now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the issue with, say, Brandon Routh is TV a demotion from film?
Yeah, and maybe 10 years
Maybe
ago.
Legends
yes.
of Tomorrow is a demotion.
What I've seen, I quite like it. I think it's
Yeah,
pretty
okay.
fun, man. And
I haven't
think
watched
he's
it in a
good.
while. I watched
Yeah.
the first few episodes of season 1.
Yeah.
Not my bag so much.
Fair enough.
Maybe I'll get back to it.
It's a pretty sweet suit, and he seems like a very genial man. I've
Yep.
listened to him in interviews. I quite like him. I think he's cool. Yeah.
Oh, he was also Dylan Dog.
He was Dylan Dog in Dylan Dog Dead of Night.
Italy's most famous comic book export, Dylan Dog. Paranormal investigator.
Fights a gargoyle at the end
Yep.
or something.
Yeah.
It's got Jimmy Olsen in it. They reteamed them for that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a weird movie.
Yeah.
All right.
So no, he's been promoted actually to Dylan Dog. So.
Okay, good. That was from Scott the Amazing, by the way, I believe. No, sorry, this is from Scott the Amazing. So how do you rank that tweet?
What was the first one again?
It was on Jedi Flips, and the second one was on superhero demotions.
Oh, look, I think if I were more prepared,
Yeah.
I feel superhero demotions would have been a better question, but I wasn't prepared, so it's 1 and 2. They're
What-
in order now.
What about Adam West, though? Not Adam West. What about, like, Michael Keaton? Would you say he was demoted, or he didn't care? Because he was like, I've made so much money.
Well, he
what
turned-
about Dawson's dad? After The Flash, he was
Oh.
never The Flash again
But now
until
he's
he was recently The Flash.
again, right? Yeah, I mean, well, Keaton turned down $50 million, or
Something like that, yeah. He made his money. He didn't
Yeah, that's
need,
right,
he didn't
yeah.
need it. Yeah, he took on smaller projects like Multiplicity.
That's right.
Yeah, but Keaton's back in a big way, mate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, and now he's Vulture. You know,
He's been great in stuff.
he's been consistently great in whatever
Yeah.
he's kind of popped up in. Yeah,
Yeah. And a lot of people hate Birdman, but I thought Birdman was an
I thought
interesting.
people loved Birdman.
I think opinions are divided.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was the fun. I mean, because it's a movie essentially about how hard successful artists have it. I guess you don't.
And we know that, don't we?
Yeah.
Better than anybody. Mm-hmm. All right, this is from Scott the Amazing. Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. You once read out a tweet of mine, but it didn't generate as much witty banter as I'd hoped. Hashtag give me another chance.
Yeah,
Is this it? Is this the chance?
yeah. This is it.
Well, he's
Yeah.
blown it, hasn't he?
He's blown it. I don't remember what the last one was, but look, maybe that was on us. Maybe we dropped the ball there. But he's not given us a lot to work with. Ultimately, there.
That's it, mate.
Yeah.
2 strikes.
2 strikes and you're out. That's how baseball works in Australia, mate. 2 strikes, you're out.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Not even. We're giving you one more because our version of baseball cricket, you get 1 strike.
1 strike and then you're definitely
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
So we've gone above and beyond to help you out here, mate.
And,
giving us nothing.
Look, God.
But thanks for writing in.
Yeah. Don't do it again, though. Don't add us, all right? No, you can. You're all right.
All right. Good stuff. Okay, that's the show, Mason.
It is the show.
Next week, Fantastic Beasts. Where are they? We'll find out. They're in the case, obviously,
they're in
as
the
you've
case,
said,
yeah.
but we will know definitively by next week.
And you'll know definitively how many times in the movie, in the cinema, I yelled, just don't open the case before they kick me out. So if we get to next week and it turns out I haven't watched the movie, it's because they kicked me out of the cinema.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Maybe you're going to be the guy in the cinema, like the Rogue One people being like, who's that? Wasn't this? Where's Harry Potter? Wasn't this?
Yeah,
And
nice.
someone's like, hey, shut up.
Hey, shut up. I know everything about Harry Potter. Just shut. I know the context. Please shut up. Please.
All right, that's the show for this week. Where can people find us?
They can find us on Weekly Planet Pod at Facebook and Twitter and Gmail and
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, where hopefully we'll have some new Star Wars commentaries up pretty soonish.
Maybe one this week, if not next week, if not never.
Yeah. But if you want, there's the original series commentaries. They're
Yeah,
all up.
man.
Yeah.
Get
Have a
primed.
good old time with those. I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies.
If you want to follow at The Weekly Planet on Twitter, that's our friend Robert Collins. Make
Yeah.
fine videos. He's
One of
great.
the best
great,
in the biz.
great man. Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our themes. Thank you to Fergal Quigley and bloody Matt Young and everybody who sends in a great fan art
Yeah,
from time
man.
to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can check out those t-shirt designs as well.
Yeah, on
those guys
TeePublic.
that.
Yeah, those are great.
That's linked below.
We also have an Amazon affiliate link.
Yeah.
If you want to click on that, it's in the episode description. If
I
you
now
want
have
to buy
something like 4 or 5 checks to cash from
Right.
them. But now the American dollar may have taken a dive. I'm not sure what's going on there, so I don't know what
So
to
you
do.
have 4 pieces of paper that we can...
Make into aeroplanes.
Yeah, nice. Great.
Yeah. I got to look at the market, Mason.
Oh,
and I don't
jeez.
really understand it, so this
Right.
is going to be...
Great.
Yeah.
We're going to be wearing barrels with suspenders on them. If you'd also like to support the show, you can also go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies.
Yeah, man.
Where you can contribute $1 a month.
And all those audio commentaries are free on there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
so,
which is great.
well, not free because you paid for them. But
Right?
if you pay like one amount, you get them all.
Yeah, we got the Caravans of Garbage on
Yeah.
your YouTube channel.
Correct. More. I'm scheduling the first one for the 24th of November.
Oh, yeah.
So get ready for that. A
Nice.
trilogy, Mason.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's pretty much everything, I think.
Yeah, man.
I always forget one thing, but I think...
Did you thank the theme people?
Yes, I did.
Good stuff.
And thank you to everybody who's listening.
I'm gonna lie, I do blank out when you do that. When you do it,
Right.
my
We should
mind
put 'em
goes
on the
elsewhere.
whiteboard.
I know the whiteboard we don't have.
We don't have a whiteboard. We could... Tell you what, we'll put those checks up on the wall.
Sure.
And I'll put all my notes on the back because we don't need them no more.
Yeah, you can just put them on the front. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you to everybody who listens and subscribes and likes and bloody send writes a review and
Yep.
good on you.
We bloody love
Good on you, mates.
Yeah.
Send us a tweet. Love them.
them. All right.
Grab that gem, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.